What's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a video podcast where we go over what's been making waves in the VGC scene. Today, I am joined by my co-host, Adi, right above me here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tub Takes. We thought we were gonna have to talk about Regulation F. Maybe we will, but we got a whole lot of champions news that I'm really excited to talk about. And yeah, we got some Pokemon champions to talk about Pokemon champions with.
I'm very, very excited for this one because I don't know. This is like the perfect storm. You get the two most recent finalists from a tournament to talk about the future of the season with just such a huge news drop. So, of course, we have your Houston regional champion Dylan here. How you doing, Dylan?
Doing pretty good. Happy to be back on Tub to talk about Regulation F for probably the last time.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah, right.
Cheer that one.
We still have like Regulation I as well coming up. Like, there's just so much like unexciting stuff on the like near horizon before we get to the real stuff. And we also have with us today Carson, your runner-up over in Houston, running Ninetales as well. Such a fun pick there, Carson. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Excited to talk about Pokemon Champions.
Yeah, you said you have takes for it, and I am so happy to hear them because, like, I mostly agree with your takes, I think, and they're like, they're still, I don't know. We'll have to see how people feel about them. We'll have to see what's the consensus in the community, but because there's just so much divisive stuff about Pokemon Champions, how they're approaching this whole game. So I'm very excited to get talking about it. And before we do launch into that, just letting you guys know, we'll be keeping up with the chat as we go along. So if you have any questions, do feel free to put them there, and we'll respond to them as we go. Yes, Vikram, your GIF is just constantly popping in and out of the frame. And
It's kind of annoying.
I know, it's very distracting, but I don't really know what to do about it. I'm sorry. Anyways, I think I can click the picture. That's the cheek. No, it's over there now. It's a good GIF though. Anyways. The other thing is this is going to be on YouTube tomorrow. So if you are here now, but you're not going to be around for the whole thing, or you prefer to watch us talk at 2x speed or whatever, over on YouTube, feel free to head over there and check us out. CK49 on YouTube. So with that, I think the first bit of news, I didn't have any like tournament sign-up stuff. I have one brief one, which is going to be relevant to the news that we get to very quickly here, which is I think that indie signups open April 1st. We're a bit ahead on that one, but I believe that was part of the news dropped today. And so, yeah, signups for indie on April 1st. It's not a prank or whatever, but you'll probably want to write that date down, write down that time, and get everything down because, of course, I guess I'll just jump ahead and say it, but Pokemon Champions will be debuting at Indy. That is going to be the first live official event. It was looking a little bit like it was shaping up that NAIC might be the debut tournament for Champions. I don't know. We were thinking, could it be LA? Could it be NAIC? I didn't have Indy as the pick, but Indy is ultimately the one, and that leaves, I believe it was confirmed in a different link that I might not have pulled up, but I think Turin as well is after Indy, and it should be on Champions as well. And so, yeah, of course, all of this news it's spread across a couple of different sources. There's the trailer that ultimately came out today that gave us most of the Champions news today, as well as the couple of posts, the couple of links I have here that give us some of the other information that we didn't get. And so I guess before we launch into anything specific, I'm sure everybody here watched it. What are some of the most exciting things that you're looking forward to talk about today? Dylan, why don't you go?
The new mega abilities and how Embor is somehow going to be worse than we all imagined. Sucks as an Embor fan, but the other two are just so much cooler. And I can't wait to see if either of them are going to be good.
Yep. Carson, what about you?
I'm ready to talk about the monetization scheme.
Yes.
Give you some hot takes on that. So I've got quite a few. A few.
Gator will not be any better, says somebody in the chat. I don't know. I think it's definitely an upgrade. We'll see. Adi, what about you? What are you looking forward to talking about today?
I think they picked my top two things that I wanted
Of
to talk
course.
about. I am excited to do some VP math because that was the trending topic on Twitter. And
Yes.
so I'll pull my calculator out and we can do some math on stream.
Yes. Okay. So let's go through the list here in the order of these links. I guess I have, and so we'll kind of tackle it all. But yeah. So the first and foremost thing, I guess, is the date. We haven't talked about that part, right? So April 8th is the release date. I have to say this was not something I considered possible. I kind of like was saying that we would get a 1 month date announcement, like at least like 1 month gap, and so every day that had kind of passed in March, I was thinking that's pushing it further into April. With kind of a slight deadline of the 24th. Coincidentally, today is the 24th of recording this, but I believe April 24th is the day that you can sign up for the first global challenge. And so, like, if you can sign up for the global challenge, surely the game had to be released. But, yeah, it's coming out as far as 2 weeks in advance. No, exactly, right, exactly 2 weeks. If my brain could do the math, 2 weeks before that date. So. 2 weeks before that, that's definitely really, really exciting. It means in terms of the how it lines up with the season, it's coming out just after Orlando, but before LA, which LA will still be on Regulation I, and then Indy ultimately is going to be the first one in Champions, as we discussed before. I guess really quick question for you guys: anybody here doing Orlando?
I'm doing Orlando.
Oh, both
I'll
of
be there.
you? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh!
I'm glad it comes out after Orlando, so
Right.
just no distractions. Because I haven't even played Reg I yet again, so I gotta jump on that. But
Same here for me. I also did Frame One Refund LA
Yes, I
because I
was gonna
thought that
ask.
one was gonna be Champions. And the second I saw the announcement for Indy being the first one, I hit refund. Not trying to
Mhm.
play Reg I once Champions out.
I'm with you right there 100%, Carson. Like I'm not going to Orlando, but I'm going to LA, and like LA was supposed to be my part of my season no matter what, but I will not have the motivation to practice Regulation I after the game drops, and neither will anybody else. Like I'm going to have to like genuinely coordinate laddering time because like there's gonna be like 3 people on ladder. They're all going to LA, and we have to all be searching for a game at the same time for us to actually find each other. Like the ladder is gonna be so dead.
can I make an LA prediction?
Yeah, what's that?
I think that LA might be the first time one of our invites gets sniped by either a Japanese player or someone from like one of those regions that has to qualify through their own circuit. Because I think they take the game a lot more seriously than we do. It's pretty close being on the West Coast,
Right.
and we are all going to be checked out. I don't know who's going to be excited to be playing Red Guy at LA.
I love the early LA smart money, non-specific smart money, but I appreciate the take. It's actually like it's a funny idea for sure. I love it. Um, yeah,
I think
God,
Montana Mott is gonna win.
yeah, that's a good pick
That
too.
might be more likely.
Yeah, right. Playing he is the defending champ, right? We haven't gone back to LA since he won. And he also did pretty well in Regulation I. So that's honestly Carson cold take, but also
Very cold. It's his format. He gets to click double fake out plus CSR.
He didn't even do that at Worlds. He didn't even do that at Worlds. He actually he
I
didn't have the
know, but
fake
he still
outs.
used the horse.
He did. He still used the horse. 100% evil horse. Okay, but I don't want to talk about the horses. I don't really want to talk about those guys at all. So let's get back to Pokemon Champions. So April 8th, super super exciting, coming out so soon at this point. What is actually the countdown? I haven't done the math.
It's 2 weeks
2
from
weeks.
tomorrow.
2 weeks.
15 days, according to someone on Twitch that I see in my recommended right now.
Yep.
We're already starting the countdown.
Yeah, literally. Holy. Okay, so let's see. I can't remember what other news was dropped in this one that isn't like just stuff we know about how to play Pokemon. All right, so this page also had the Mega abilities. So let's go ahead and jump into those. Let's start off with the most exciting one, Embor, because there's actually nothing to talk about here. Embor has a known ability, Mold Breaker. They decided that the other two would get special treatment, but not Embor. And I gotta say, this is just like a dead on arrival. kind of thing. Which also, I want to add one more thing, which it's kind of insane to me that they didn't want to make Embor a little bit broken when he is the battle pass pick, or like they have like the battle pass giving his Megastone. Like I almost am like, do I need to buy the battle pass if I don't want to use Mega Embor?
I think it's worth noting for these guys, you can get their Megastones by transferring them into the game from ZA. So
Okay,
I think
yep.
even if you just know someone that has ZA, they can just trade you one of the Tepics they catch. Because you get more than one of them. You catch them in the wild areas as well.
Okay,
I assume it
good
doesn't have to
notes.
be like your exact starter one, because some people have definitely released theirs.
Yes.
And I believe, too, that it will be exclusive to either the battle pass or getting it that way. Like it won't be available in the shop. We can talk about that more later.
Right.
But as long as there's a way outside of the battle pass for it. Also, he was just in the 10 tiers. I would imagine it has more megas, because if it's just
I
this
think
guy,
so.
then like, yeah, who's buying that?
Yes.
If it was a shiny Imbor, maybe, but
Shiny Embor does actually look really dope. So
yeah.
sad that it is so bad, so bad. With its current stat spread, I don't think Mold Breaker is doing anything more. I think I saw comparisons to Iron Hands, but worse, and I would have to probably agree. Like I know that we might be in a format that has a different power level than the Paradox Pokemon, but I'm thinking about all the possibilities that I could have for my Mega instead, and they all sound a lot better. So, with that, then let's move on to Meganium.
I really
Oh
cannot
God,
figure out what their I can't figure out what their design idea was here. Like I can't even think about can't figure
with
out
Moldbreaker?
when you would think it would use Mold Breaker, right?
I
Obviously for Flash Fire is like the big thing, or like Thick Fat. But I don't know. It's not like a Pokemon that clicks a bunch of like ground moves or anything to avoid levitate. I don't. It's just like it's such a weird choice for Emboar. It doesn't really fit thematically. It didn't even have that. It had like Reckless, right, which would have been a better ability. If it just kept Reckless, in my opinion, I think it's worse than normal Emboar in a lot of ways.
I guess we're looking at the like one of the main examples. Maybe Mimikyu was like going to be so dominant in the meta, and just being able to hit past Disguise is the cool one there. Okay, so jumping up though, Meganium is the probably the most interesting one because there's just like it's so unclear. Like they showed a very good example that we can kind of follow along with, which is Politoed sets up the rain with Drizzle, but still gets hit by a one-turn Solar Beam, or at least we can assume it was a one-turn Solar Beam. It looked like, and so I mean, otherwise, what's the point? So, so that's kind of neat. I'm whelmed. I don't think it like makes this broken, but it seems like it's a lot pretty cool. And it might have some interesting interactions that we don't completely know just yet.
I feel like it's gonna need something really broken, or it's just gonna suck.
Yeah, Carson, I saw some people on Twitter saying like, imagine if they give it growth. Oh my god. And I'm like, I kind of think it needs growth. Like I kind of think like if it doesn't have growth to like give it a nasty plot ability, like what are we doing here? Like I just or not the ability to nasty plot rather. And so
Even growth, it's like
I
it's kind
agree.
of good, but it's not that good. It's like Nasty Plot doesn't make other megas super broken, so
Right.
I don't think it's gonna make this one broken either.
Yep.
It doesn't get Moonblast in ZA, notably.
Mm-hmm.
Synthesis is kind of cool. It heals you for 67%, which is
Nice.
sick. And then
Mhm.
I guess the big one is like Weather Ball. It's like, so if Weather Ball acts like it's in the sun, is it a 100 power move that's fire? Does it also get a sun boost even
Yep.
though there's no sun active? What if you use it in the rain? Then is it a water move? We don't really know that yet. I don't know how much that'll actually help it, but it does get Weather Ball,
Mm-hmm.
which is good coverage, I guess.
Bulbapedia has more information. I don't know where they got it from.
Yeah.
But it says that Weather Ball will be used as a fire type move with base 100 power.
Are they just
Oh, okay.
saying shit?
So
Like where why are they like I don't know.
So much of the marketing for
don't
this
know.
game is just in like some Japanese website and like nowhere else. Like,
Yeah, I assume they got it
Right.
from a different language website.
No. It says on the webpage, Mega Megadiums, it lets Pokemon use its moves as though the weather were harsh sunlight. Right? Which is pretty clear. Um
Wait, was Fire
I think
Weather
that's a
Ball
reasonable
in
interpretation.
the trailer? I guess I missed it.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that like, if anything, the place that Meganium has is maybe on like opposite weather teams. Like on a rain team would be kind of cool. One, it gives you a way for, like if you're using rain offense, you probably want to click a lot of water type attacks and what resists water but itself. So having a way to hit water is kind of cool. Dragon also resists it, so maybe your Meganium can hit them with the fairy moves. And then if the weather ball is a fire move, then I don't know. Like I'm thinking about the classic, like Ferrothorn is a very good way to deal with rain type stuff, and you can hit it with a fire move that's kind of ignoring the defensive utility of rain. So that could be cool. That could be cool.
I mean, it hits Amoonguss, it hits Rillaboom, otherwise walls it, Kartana, if that ever comes back. No, I think you're right. The thing is, Meganium is limited by. I think this is a cool ability that gives it something interesting to do. That gives it probably a niche if it has the move pool to match. But not currently having a good fairy move to click is very limiting. And then, like you said, not having growth potentially. That seems like a no-brainer. That seems like the perfect synergy with this ability. If you give it growth and you give it Moonblast, I think this is a real Pokemon that you could use. And you could see some play. But if you don't give it those two moves, or something comparable, then it's just maybe a little underpowered compared to some of the more powerful megas that we know are going to be in the game.
Yeah, I would hope that they too, if it ends up being bad, just like do a balance change. I don't know how willing they will be to do stuff like that, but we don't have to wait for a new game to come out now for them to make changes. So
I'm praying that it works that way. Definitely. It just dies to all the other megas. Yeah, we'll see. It does have a lot of weaknesses to some of the common ones. But like I was thinking about it, and I was like, this is kind of a bad defensive typing. And then I was like, actually, Whimsicott's definitely held its own in enough formats that it kind of just depends on what the strong offensive types are. So it can definitely resist some stuff with that typing as well.
Yeah, I think the role of bulky grass type just has a lot of competition as well, right? Especially if Rillaboom and Amoonguss are in a metagame, you immediately have so much competition. There's always been, I feel like every metagame, Ogerpon, right, Kartana, there's always so many good grass types that you have to choose from, which is also a limiting factor in when would you pick Meganium and use that as your grass type, maybe a little underwhelming, on top of also using your Mega up for that slot. Is a lot to ask out of a slot, right? The standard for a Mega Pokemon is pretty high nowadays.
Own CM Bolt. So true. Yeah, I guess the last thing I'll say about it is that like, is Solar Beam, like, free access Solar Beam really that big of a deal? Because like if you compare, I was comparing it to Ogerpon, like Ogerpon with its 1.2 from the masks is basically using a no drawback, no drawback 120 base power move that also has a high crit chance, unlike Solar Beam. So it's kind of like, well, we've already kind of got power levels that match or exceed this thing. And then the other one is that usually like Sun is strong because it's something that the whole team is built around and using, and like this being the self-sustaining Sun abusing kind of Pokemon is cool, but like yeah, you don't get to use like a fire type next to it that's strong or doing more damage, so it's kind of like we'll see. They're gonna buff Solar Beam to be like Electro Shot. Chill. Maybe that's it.
That'd be the only way it's good.
I'm on board then. They don't even need to give it growth. Okay, let's talk about Feraligatr here. So Feraligatr got a bit more of it's a new ability, but a lot more cut and dry. It is Dragonize, and it is it confused me because I was expecting it to be Dragonate. I forgot that this one is a little bit different. Anyways, it turns normal moves into dragon moves.
It's not Dragonite?
No. No. It turns them into dragon moves and boosts the power by 20%. That's just completely in line with the abilities that are exactly like this, that already exist. And this is going to be interesting to see because I think a lot of the instances we've seen of these abilities, the two most common moves we think from back in the day are Hyper Voice, which Feraligatr is very much not a special attacker, and then Return, which is no longer in the game. For the boomers that were playing with Megas back then, some teams did use Double Edge, but Return was the nice like no drawback option for you. I don't think Feraligatr has very good normal moves. In fact, I think I saw somebody search for all of Feraligatr's current normal moves, and I think the best option you have is the one shown in the trailer, Double Edge, right? Like, what else are we doing? Body Slam, I think. Yeah.
Giga Impact, bro.
Oh, okay.
Does
That's
get
true.
bigger back.
That's pretty
Now,
fun.
I will say, normally I feel like setup sweepers need a spread move to really be impactful. At least recently. It has like a probably good enough speed tier to like outspeed stuff after a Dragon Dance, which is cool, and the typing
Right.
is great defensively. This is probably the most evil setup sweeper of all time, and I say that because there's a very good chance that you're running Dragon Dance with Body Slam and Waterfall, so you are paraflinching people, which is hilarious. Obviously, Double Edge always stronger, but you don't deal recoil to yourself. Um, but yeah, I said this earlier. I'm very excited to bring this guy up during Calca's right. I want to know how much he does to an Amogus.
Yeah.
But yeah.
100%.
Also, I think it has like 160 base attack. Isn't that like really high for having like a damage boosting ability? Like I think they generally don't want to give abilities that just straight up buff your damage to like anything
Right.
stronger than Metagross with Tough Claws. I mean, it's only for its dragon moves, but still.
Does it
No,
get
that's
Body
cool.
Slam, by the way?
I think so.
I'm
Or
not
do you know
seeing
so?
it.
You're not seeing it?
Ooh.
I control F Body Slam on Cerebi, and I got no results.
No, it doesn't get
Hold
it.
up
It gets
national
it gets
decks.
slash.
Oh boy.
Wait.
Yeah.
I've had it at some
Well, no,
point.
so
Oh,
you
it can use
you-
Facade, I guess.
Oh.
dragon cheer it. You
Self-will-o-wisp?
dragon cheer it. You dragon cheer it, and then you get to slash, and you get critical hits.
No, I like
That's the way
I
to
like
run it.
Carson's idea. Basically, we don't get to ever click water moves anymore, but we're gonna self burn our our Feraligatr. I guess we could self
Just don't
poison.
play a fairy type, dude.
You could
Prankster
self
toxic
poison
yourself.
But how are you gonna?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
Terra
more.
poison your prankster guy so you can't miss the toxic onto yourself.
Yes. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't even know
That'll
if
be
there's a
good for
prankster
regulation
toxic user.
MT.
I think so. I think the
MTA.
thing that
The Metro Transit, whatever.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I forgot that we have to like they're gonna have such weird abbreviation names for all the specific format combinations. It gets Body Slam in Scarlet and Violet, but not ZA. Yeah, I was seeing Body
Okay.
Slam on Twitter, so I feel like there's probably and enough people in chat suggested it as well. But anyways, I don't think any of these megas really like will hold up to some of the old goats. And so it really depends on what the legal rule set ends up being. There's so many like old megas that they've shown in trailers already. So if everything that we've seen in gameplay is legal, I don't have a lot of hope for all of these guys. But if the rule set does limit some of the Pokemon, then I think that like especially like for Alligator, like if it's not competing against like Mega Charizard and Mega Metagross and Gengar and Kang or whatever, then it might be able to be a pick.
Can I
Yeah.
give a rule set take?
Yeah, what's that?
I think there's a decent shot, the first rule set, a pretty good chance that it's just the ZA decks plus the DLC. Because they want you to buy ZA to get all the guys. They're pushing that a lot with like getting the Embor Megastone, the Feraligatr Megastone, the Floette one as well if you transfer that guy in. They also consider it like a mainline series game, like they've officially referred to it as such. And it's one that we haven't had a competitive format for. And also with the DLC guys, it's like exactly 400 mons, which is about the size of a regional dex usually.
Right.
I think that's how many were in the base game of Scarlet Violet.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my friends have already went through, and I think at some point we were gonna like do a tier list of like everyone that is in the decks and legal. So we've already brainstormed this a lot. I'm gonna be sad if it's not that, but I think that'd be a cool low power format to start the game with.
Doesn't that still have all the broken megas though?
It does, because that has every mega, but it doesn't have like Ensign or like I think we figured out that like Scrafty would be really good because it's like the only like fake out pivot guy. Also, the only terrain setter's Indeedee, which is really funny.
Wait, is
So
Indeedee
you
even
can't, like, run a
confirmed?
real-
Oh, but I guess
It's
it's in ZA.
It's in the ZA DLC.
Got
Yeah.
it.
I don't know if it'll actually
That's
be that.
fun.
We don't have to go off on this long tangent, but
No, you're good.
No,
You're
that's
good.
very like 2014-esque, right? Where you have super high power
yeah.
megas and like a relatively low power level format.
Like I think it'd be
Adam-
so sick. The only prankster TR setter is Talonflame, and like
Prankster TR?
Amogus would probably deal it too good. Or sorry, prankster Tailwind. No,
I
that's
like
Mega
this theory.
Malamar's
I'm
ability.
on board with it. I hope you're right.
Cool format when Dozo and Ape show up. I mean, the problem is that Tatsugiri's
Yeah.
probably going to be in there, dude. Tatsugiri's because like they gave him a mega. Somebody asked in the chat, do we think that we'll get more Pokemon and champions on release outside of the mons that have been shown so far? I think without a doubt, right? Like there's, I don't know what the current list Cerebi has, like, but I can't imagine it's enough for a sustainable format. Cerebi has been cataloging all of the Pokemon that have been shown in trailers, though, so that's I don't know if it would be
Still
able
has
to.
Bulbapedia, yeah.
Oh, okay, is it easy to count, or would you have to do it?
Is it
manually?
easy to count?
Like that's what I'm asking. Like, do they have it listed by number, or would you have to do it manually?
They do not have it listed by. I mean, they do have it listed by number, but it's Pokédex number, so it's not.
Yeah,
it's not
so
countable.
so not easy to count. Exactly. All right, we'll come back to that. Maybe somebody knows the answer. Gate counting, Adi. I don't want to hear from you until you're done.
Give me like 30 seconds and I'll find it.
It looks about 80.
About
Spitballing.
that's not enough. That's like the So
Yeah.
don't worry, more Pokemon are definitely on the way.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the next article here. I love this. I feel like it was in the ads as well. They're like just blasting this picture of Fede. They love it. They love this picture of Fede like popping off. And I mean, it's a good picture. Like the lighting in the background looks cool. Anyways.
I got to give myself a shout out real quick.
Yeah, what's that, Carson?
In the first trailer for Champions, they had the video of when I won Worlds, and I thought that was the coolest shit ever.
Yes. No, that is so sick. I'm glad that they used that. I think I've seen James in something. We saw James Evans in one of these as well. Will Fede be a playable character? That's a damn good question. Okay. What does this one talk about? Let me remind myself. This is where we kind of already talked about the beginning of this one, which is Indy. This one mentions that Indy will be the first tournament, and so I meant, as I was saying right here, registration opens on April 1st. I guess this, I don't know. I guess I want to know the answer. Who all here is trying to go to Indy? Yeah, right. Like honestly, if I don't actually normally do this in Twitch, but like I don't know, let's do it for fun. Type 1 if you are trying to sign up for Indy, because I think this is going to. I've already heard people getting scared. Like this one might sell out real fast.
Hey, Pokemon Ambassador Lorcy has already requested more seats for VGCs, so let's hope that job is not fake and it actually works.
Guys, we have enough ones in the chat. You guys, we can't all go. We can't all go. Some people can't go. I'm sorry. So stop typing 1 because I want to go. Anyways, no. It's just make sure that you have that time locked down. Go ahead, Dylan. Sorry.
I'll probably go regardless. Even if I miss the registration and miss like whatever second or third wave, I'm probably still just gonna go because like there's no way all my friends whiff, and that just sounds like an awesome spectator experience. Even if you can't compete, I honestly love to compete though.
I know it's just like it is not a tournament you want to miss. Dylan, actually, remind me when you started Pokemon. Have you been to a first in game? I can't remember. Did you play Dynamax?
So I started as a senior in 2018. I only went to like 2 tournaments though, and then I took a really long break and came back for Scarlet Violet. I've been there for first in like format, like first of like reg
and those
F
are fun
or whatever, but not those are fun too. But I imagine a first in game is totally different, especially like back when Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon came out, and you guys had like 2 weeks, or was that Sun and Moon?
No, that was Sun and Moon. That was crazy.
Okay, that's insane. Like.
I didn't do that
one
myself.
There was Showdown that wasn't even correct yet, like the crit rate and like all that. It's just like that sounds crazy to me. But obviously we'll have a little bit longer than that. Like we'll have I guess a month, almost 2 months. And there's probably going to be some we'll probably talk about this later, but there's like locals that aren't for CP that will be using champions, and there's also going to be side events at tournaments. So like we'll have some kind of meta stuff to go off of. It's not like we have a 2-week turnaround time, but I kind of wish we did because that sounds fun.
Right, and like no, we'll have so much. Come on, Victory Road will host tournament every weekend for this. Like there will be enough people hosting tournaments. We'll have a limitless tournaments, and so we will have enough data from Pokemon Champions about what is good that the metagame will probably be pretty developed by the time we switch over. Which kind of feels sad because I wish like we had a little longer, or we had a little less time, and we had a little bit more of like a Wild West type regional
Mad Dash.
that Yeah, like I really wish the like end of April regionals even were on Pokemon Champions. Knowing this, I think probably the reason they want so long is to make sure that the tournaments themselves are being hosted and not not having any issues with using this new technology, using the new game. But for as a competitor, I think it would have been a lot more fun, and I'm really excited. I wish I hadn't booked Los Angeles. I have. I don't think I'm going to be able to refund my flights.
Right.
But
Same.
I but I would rather be like playing on online Pokemon Champions tournaments rather than going to a regional in May for sure.
You know what I really wish?
Go ahead.
I wish that I forget where it's at, but there's an Australian regional a week before Indy. They should have made that the first tournament of Pokemon Champions because
give
Everyone
Australia.
would fly out to Australia.
No, they
yeah, people would
shouldn't have.
absolutely go. That'd be awesome. And like, I don't know. That's like it's kind of giving them OCIC back. It's like they probably have more demand than OCIC.
They
Melbourne,
probably have more
But also,
Japanese
like-
players than Australian if they did that.
Right?
But also, like, they don't have any champions tournaments before like NAIC, so they're not going to be able to host any in their region this season, which is a little sad. EU, of course, gets Turin, presumably, because it's after Indy. But
They confirmed it in a press release. It was on like the
Yes.
press.pokemon.com
Oh,
one,
okay, perfect.
but it specifically says Turin.
Yeah,
Oh, and while
the
on the
Australian one
subject
is
of it-
confirmed Reg-I, by the way. I checked on RK9.
Which one?
It did say Scarlet Violet. The Australian event that's a week before.
Oh, okay.
That's a week before Indy. Yeah,
Yeah,
on
that's,
RK9
I think
it
that's
said
Melbourne is
Scarlet
what people were
Violet.
saying in the chat.
Melbourne,
Audie, you
yeah,
linked
yeah.
this one, I think, or somebody did. I think it was Audie.
This just got announced while we were doing top takes. So I figured I'd post it. But this was also in Pokemon Champions. This is in the Korean Nationals.
So that's a week before, right? Yeah, that's the weekend before Indy.
425. Wait, is India like as the month rolls over or something?
It's
Yeah.
30th and
Oh
31st.
no. Okay. Oh, wait, this is 24-25.
Yeah, there's some. I believe they've also already announced some other Asian circuit, like national level events for like early May.
It was tripping
are
me
in
up,
Champions.
Carson, because the 25th is a Monday. So that's why I was confused.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a
Maybe-
Korean thing. I don't know.
It could be a Korean thing. Maybe it's normal to do stuff like that on a Monday, I guess. I don't know. Okay. So yeah, so that's definitely gonna be interesting. But like Adi said, earlier, that the meta is going to be developed by the time Indy comes around, like at least marginally developed. Sorry, Adi, go ahead.
I think May 25th is a public holiday. That would explain it.
Oh, did it say? Is it the one? No, it says Pokemon Sports Day. Never mind. That's probably not the holiday. I was like, did they say the holiday in there? Yeah, they're all taking the day off to celebrate Pokemon Sports Day.
I think
it's
I
Buddha's
think it's Buddha's
birthday.
birthday. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. That's what I was seeing too.
Just Googled it.
Okay.
If you told me there was a Pokemon holiday in Japan, I might believe you, but not Korea, I don't think.
Pox, I see your question here in the chat, and I'm actually gonna sidestep it mostly because of my own personal bias. It's like, what mons do you want to build around the most in Champions? I have not been engaging much at all with like theory crafting for the game yet, because I just feel like we don't know enough. We just talked about how, like, what you guys said, there was 80 Pokemon we know are confirmed in the game. I feel like that's nothing. Like, you can't do anything with that. You can't be like, yeah, my Intimidator is going to be Scrafty. I know this for sure. Like, we don't. What if Incineroar's Incineroar's been in the trailers? Like, if Incin's in the game, I'm not running Scrafty. I don't know. There's too much, too many variables, too many unknowns. So we'll definitely get around to it soon. We've got so much. It's gonna be here before we know it. Oh, and then there was one other chat message that I thought was funny that I wanted to mention. Miles said Dylan shouldn't play for Indy. Can't have him take another world spot. It's just like, it's funny. It's like, you're so selfish for wanting to go to Indy. I'm like, shut up. But it's fun. I'm sure it's just
you need Dylan to get second place at the regional and take up as many championship points as possible without earning a world's invite. That's like the real ideal.
And then we want like Carson to win, right? Is that chill?
Yeah.
Okay, we can just run it back. Run it back, but reverse it. All right. Let's see. So What other news was mentioned in here? Obviously, we're going to be using it for NAIC and Worlds, which definitely makes those ones more exciting. I mean, we were expecting to be playing on at Worlds as like the default. That was the bare minimum promised from last year. But yeah, having NAIC being on Champions, I'm sure is going to make that one also a very contentious tournament to get into. I feel like players from other regions are going to be trying to get into this one. I would not be surprised to see players from other regions trying to get into Indy if they see it as reasonable to possibly attend. I mean, Indy was the host of Nationals back in the day, U.S. Nationals. Did we host NAIC at Indy like after we transitioned over, or did we ever? We might not have. I don't know.
I don't think so. NAIC
Started in
did it
Columbus.
start in 20? It's 2017, and that was Columbus, right?
Okay.
2017 was in Indy. It was in Indy.
NAIC.
It was the only one in Indy. Yeah.
So there was one. Okay, got it. And oh man, Galarian Zapdos fan. I thought you only existed on YouTube. I see you comment on like a lot of different VGC channels, always about Galarian Zapdos. I didn't know you were also on Twitch.
I won't
Anyways.
spoil it, but I do know his true identity.
Oh, yo. Okay, let's see. So, Regulation I returns on April 1st. It sounds like a prank, but it's not. Haha. Everybody's so excited. After that, we will be playing
And
Regulation MA. Go ahead, Audie.
the big thing here is that it looks like locals will continue to be on Regulation I. It seems like for the rest of the season.
That's what
at
my
least
TO
from what
was
I could
saying.
tell, right?
My TO was also
Yeah.
That's the
applying this.
points earning ones. As far
Yes.
as I'm
And so-
aware, they can host ones on Champions, not for points if they want.
Right.
But yeah.
And then and there's going to be some summer events that are, the special events we talked about last week that are going to be on. Special events is the wrong word to use, but some local events that they can get special prizing for. That is going to be on Champions. It sounds like over the summer as well. But yeah, kind of sad that locals are not going to transition over to Champions even when regionals do, because I think a lot of people play at locals and can't travel to Indianapolis or whatever or Nats to go to regionals, but also are excited about Champions. And then also just like stores in general, I think are going to suffer from not being able to use Champions despite everyone wanting to use Champions for 2 months. Like the people who go to locals, just not as many people are going to go, right? And so I'm a little disappointed that that's not going to change for a while.
I wouldn't say this is a game killer, but Audie, this is very much falling in the bucket with like how they're not releasing mobile at the same time, where it's just like this is another thing where you want as many people to be able to get into the game, both like playing mobile and on Switch, but also to be able to go to tournaments for the game, and so just having locals would have been so much more accessible to like at least get people started. So that's a little definitely disappointing. And then also from my personal perspective, I was actually like leaving some of my local BFLs. Like I wasn't sweating them because I was like, I'm gonna go to more locals when champions are the locals. And yeah, that's I'm realizing this now, like literally in the moment that I'm like, oh wow, I actually had to start attending locals for Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet locals. Yes. Think they might still announce an April GC. Gosh, I actually don't know what we're gonna do for the online competitions.
I think we are more likely to get a end of May Champions GC than we are to get a April GC. Maybe we would. I can still see it. I don't know what they're doing with the GCs. That's my big question mark after all of this. Is like they said there'd be there'd be 8 GCs and we'd have BFL 4. Now we have 4 GCs that have points. One that we still are waiting on points for, that we're waiting for a long time.
Wait, we're still waiting on that one?
One that we're still waiting on that one.
Okay.
One that
Want my
apparently
points,
we are
dude.
not getting points for, and 2 that just are not accounted for at all. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on with the GCs.
Oh my
I
gosh.
propose an answer to this because it got brought up, I think, last episode too.
Okay.
The website that says we have 8 GCs is also the same website that said there would only be one format between the end of Scarlet Violet, or between after Reg H and Champions.
Right.
And it also still says, I checked the other day, it still says GC5 is in May, even though we just played GC5. I think unfortunately it's probably just outdated info. Like they probably at one point planned to do like a bunch of Champions GCs, but then they ended up having to only do one and have all the Japanese players only be able to qualify under that one. Like normally it's like I don't know the exact number. Is it 64 people from like each one, the top 64 players? But then now it's just like the top 160 from this one. That's also not for CP, and that just tells me like this is not what they planned at all.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll get something in like late May, but like I think the GCs might be over, which sucks because I mean I didn't really play in them because I thought, oh, I can just get points later in the GCs. I'm sure a lot of people also planned their season around that. So if they just
Right.
don't end up having the tournaments they said they were going to have, then that's going to suck. But that
Mm-hmm.
seems
I
most likely to me.
I'm still sitting on 2 4-point performances that I need to overwrite, and I thought I would have a chance to overwrite them. So it's a little disappointing that they haven't, communicated that at all. But uh, it is what it is. That's the circuit we play in, and I guess this really is just a very transitional year where, um, these hiccups are to be expected as they try to figure out how they actually want to incorporate champions and what functionality champions will even have. Like, is it even feasible to do, like I said, a big grand challenge on the that connects to your play Pokemon account on champions in May? We don't know. Maybe they don't know either. So maybe they're figuring it out as they go as well. That's why they need that big gap after champions releases.
I've been playing for a minute, and I don't know, Carson, you've been around for about as long, and so like that, I feel like the term transition year has been like almost like a meme in past years, where it's just like every time something bad happened in a season, it's just like, yeah, this is a transition year. Like obviously it's going to be fixed for next season, but this has probably felt like the most transition year. This one is probably like taking the cake there.
Yeah, I think there was probably a lot bigger plans for this season, and the game just kept getting delayed. And Play Pokemon obviously doesn't really have any say over that. I forget who's even the developer. Is it like Ilka
Ilka,
for
right?
this
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
It's the
Um,
Pokemon
It's
Works,
Pokemon
which
Works.
is
Oh.
50% Ilka, 50% Game Freak, I believe.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't really have say over either of those organizations actually developing the game, and so they're kind of just beholden to the timeline
Right.
of whatever they say. And so season kind of just keeps getting pushed and changed because of that. So who knows? 2027, that's our year, dude. That's our
Mm-hmm.
year.
Ah, for real, for real. I'm right there with you. So there's been a ton of chat about this, and so I should bring it up. We've definitely talked about this subject on a past Tub Takes, but we have new guests, and so I want to hear their takes on it at the very least, which is about everyone's talking about the phones in the chat and talking about how that's going to be handled. Because I think I saw Daniel Yu say that he thinks that phones will not be allowed, at the very least, personal phones, which I think that's I think it's reasonable enough, but also like as other people are pointing out, are they going to provide 1,400 phones for these huge tournaments for the potential that, technically everybody wants to use a phone, like they don't want to use their own Switch? I don't know. I guess I'll throw it over to you first, Dylan. What are your thoughts on the whole like phone thing?
Right. So obviously, if they allow you to use your personal device, that is just ripe for cheating. You get your buddy to stand behind your opponent and say, "Oh, he clicked protect there," and then you change your move because you see a notification pop up. I don't think they would allow that with how strict they already are with like just even having your phone on the table while you play face down. I do think it's probably unlikely that they will have no way for you to compete in an official tournament with your phone because Champions is kind of the way for them to get people to play VGC that otherwise would have never really interacted with it. And it would suck to then, if they want to go play in a tournament, be like, oh, yeah, you got to buy a Switch. Like, you got to spend $600 on a Switch, too. Um,
Right.
I think they'll probably have a limited number of phones that they will have, like rental phones, because they already did that for Go, which is granted a much smaller game. But Arcanine also already asks you when you sign up, like what device you're using, I
Right.
believe. Or I know it does when you submit your team list. So I imagine what will happen is when you sign up, there will be a place to say, I want to sign up to use my phone, and there will be a limited number of those slots. And then those can fill up, but the Switch ones will probably be more like plentiful, I guess, because they're obviously going to need a dock for the phone. They're going to have more docks than phones at the end of the day because a lot of people are going to want to play on their Switch 2, where the game looks nicer. They can easily use a controller and all
Bigger
that. So
screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. Limited phone slots is probably the answer. Like it's probably like, like first come, first serve. And they'll I guess have to see what they deem reasonable amount of supply. They've been doing it for Pokemon Go. That's kind of like somewhat the blueprint, but it's a little bit different with it being mixed devices. Adi, it seems like you have thoughts. What are you thinking?
I think I think what you're describing is not the way that I would do it. I think that,
Okay.
it makes sense. It is consistent with the way that Pokemon Go does it. But if I were like the easy solution to the problem of people using phones to cheat is you have to put it on airplane mode, right? It's really simple. You can't get notifications. You could, I guess, theoretically like tab out into a damage calculator and tab back into Pokemon Showdown, but like, that's very obvious. And I don't know, like I don't know. Like you figure out ways to cheat with anything, but like at least the notification part is not a concern. If you go in airplane mode now, I think the big issue is that tournaments are played on LAN, and so you have to be able to hook your phone up to whatever the switches are connected to, and that is usually, I believe, just a USB-C port. So what I would say if I were running the Pokemon Company is say you can use phones, but they have to connect through a USB-C port to this LAN. We'll have a few backups in case people show up and they don't know how to do it, and they think they have a phone that works and it doesn't work. Phone doesn't work as expected. Whatever. We'll have some backups, but I don't think that with the size of VGC tournaments, they can say we have 200 phones at our disposal that we're going to give out to first come first serve. That just doesn't make sense to me as a way to run a tournament. It maybe works for Pokemon Go when it's a lot smaller, but I think that you're going to be allowed to bring your own phone. I think that's a growth opportunity that they would be silly not to try to take advantage of. And I think they're gonna have to find a way to either limit the phones that you can use so that you can't use your jank smartphone from 2010 and try to play on that. But I think that there's some rules around that, but I think they want to encourage people who are mobile only to also try out tournaments.
Mm-hmm. I actually want to pivot slightly. I want to go over to Carson for this one because Carson, you've played some like phone games, like actual like phone like competitive stuff. I think like Clash. I think at least
A
a
little bit.
little bit. I'm just kind of curious if the games were like almost functionally identical, like there wasn't like major performance differences. Would you play on Switch still, or would you play on phone? Like, would anybody here pivot? But I want to ask you first, Carson.
Oh, I'd be a mobile only gamer.
You would?
100%.
Okay. Do you have a Switch too?
I do have a Switch too.
And you would pivot?
I got the Switch too because my Switch's battery lasted maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I got it on release date and it was time for an upgrade. It was dying on me. But I pretty much only play Pokemon Showdown on my phone already, and I
Right.
would love to just be a mobile only player and not have to lug around a Switch or really use it. I know the graphics are going to look way better, but to be honest, I really don't care. I just want to play the game. If the battles are the same, then it doesn't matter to me. I am a bit concerned about like cheating potential with using a personal device, but I think they're just going to completely shoot themselves in the foot if they don't allow phones at the tournaments because
Right.
I think once the game drops on mobile, it has a like amazing potential to blow up and get super popular. And we already saw how popular Pocket is and how much money they've printed off that game, just selling like recycled card artwork basically. Um, I think they can make it a ton of money and be super successful with the mobile game. And you really got to funnel those people into the competitive scene if you want it to last a long time and not just kind of be the same people that already play right now.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree with both of you that this makes more sense for them to implement some kind of solution in game to prevent cheating. But I think ultimately the big problem is that the people developing the game are not the people running the tournaments. And that's just
Mm-hmm.
kind of the sad reality
That
of it.
disconnect is
If
always
this
so killer.
requires, yeah, if this requires like them to implement stuff, like Play Pokemon can't make that choice, unfortunately. They could probably ask for it, but communication has very clearly been poor about this game and how we haven't really been told much about it until now. And we still don't know so many other things. And it's just very clear to me that these two companies do not talk to each other in any meaningful way. But
I wanted to
Right.
pull
I
up
don't know.
this
It's
one.
such a
I hope
shame.
you guys are
Go ahead,
correct, though.
No, I had such high hopes, and I think you're right. I think that the idea of integrating how tournaments are actually run into Pokemon Champions would make the tournament experience so much nicer and make it easier to get people who are playing on mobile only, which I think is going to be a huge number, like Carson said, to also play in tournaments and have that tournament experience. And it feels like they're not doing that. Although think you pulled up the maybe the counterpoint to that, which is that potentially there
Right.
are other competition styles, is what is Z-Banded has circled. And so maybe you could have a Swiss style competition instead of a ladder style competition or something else analogous to that. And then in that case, you could theoretically host regionals or locals on Pokemon Champions, right?
I did see one of the trailers. I believe they were playing like a bracket tour. Like it was a bunch of kids playing in their friend's room, and they all
Yeah,
were
yeah,
on
right.
champions, and they drew the bracket. I bet you can like set up like because I know you can do that in Smash. Like I know you set up like a little tournament with your friends that's like single elimination or whatever. So I bet you could also just set up a competition that's like like a single elimination bracket or double elimination, whatever they end up adding.
Yeah,
I really hope that's not like a dumb little for fun mode for kids.
Yeah.
Or like a kind of like I hope it's not something that we look at and say, why am I not using Limitless for this? Why am I not using Battle 5 for this or whatever? Because anyone can put a bracket together. Brackets are not complicated.
Right.
And yeah, like if you integrate it with tournaments and you give us a real reason to use it, I think that yeah, it would be really cool. But I just have a sinking feeling that there's going to be a lack of fit from the design team to the people who are on the ground and understand the application of this product.
right, 100%. All right, I'm gonna bring us back then. So I think oh no, we're still over here. We're talking about the locals and stuff. Yeah, the locals. Oh, I guess one tangent while it's on my mind before we move on to the monetization stuff, which will be fun.
Oh yeah.
Is I was kind of holding out hope because I think a decent number of people here watching, as well as some of the people in the call, have played Pocket. Pocket has some like minor single player content, like you can fight like bots with theme decks to get unlocks and stuff like that. I was kind of holding out hope that we might get some decent single player content in this game. Like everyone was hoping for like a battle factory or battle tower type system in this one, and I feel like they had the potential to do that, but I feel like with this trailer it probably showed off everything that is the game has to offer. So I feel like single player content might be a little bit limited. I saw somewhere mentioned that getting this is actually getting closer to the monetization talk, but I think there's like you can get missions, you can get more missions available to you if you get one of the passes. Maybe those missions line up with single player content. I mean, is there going to be like a tutorial for the game? Can you fight AI? Like there's a lot of like weird questions there that they didn't really highlight in the trailer, so I don't have a lot of expectations for it, I guess.
They haven't done a great job marketing, and I don't have a link, but the Battle Frontier is confirmed for the game. Like in a Japanese trailer. Yeah, and there was a Japanese trailer that showed these characters that were just nowhere else, and one of them was like the Frontier Mare. I can try and find it. I can try and pull it up.
I remember
I feel like I saw that as well. Because I was going to bring up, I thought there was like a character that they revealed that was like about the Battle Frontier.
They showed some of these characters.
Someone that was the head of
today's trailer,
the Battle Palace.
Let me go
yeah, they showed like the breeder girl. Like she was also only in that Japanese trailer, and I remember seeing key art of her, and I was just like, where was she? Where was this? Like, did I miss some big content? And apparently I did, because they only posted it on this Japanese website.
I remember that happening last time around, for sure, that there was missing information. But I think this time around, there was a screen that showed, like, this trainer's actually new. I don't know when they're shown.
Stay on that screen for a second. Stay on that screen, because that seems to be all of our options, right? In a second, missions they also show off the battle screen. Missions, you think the missions are a single player mode?
I think it could
Probably.
be.
That's what they're
No,
calling.
I think that's a
Interesting.
checkbox thing, like in
No,
Pocket,
that
because
is.
there's a missions
like-
button
That's what I
in
think.
Pocket where you just like
Right.
collect your
So more passive
rewards.
stuff,
And
you're
that's
saying?
what we have. That's what they have in like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel as well, which is the mobile game I play, where you have a daily missions that you have to complete, and if you complete them, you get a few extra VP here and there. That's what it looks like, right? It's checklist, and
I think
you look at the rest of this, it doesn't seem to have a Battle Frontier style battle format anywhere. They clicked into the battle menu and they showed off all of the battle options, and they basically talked about all of them, and there was nothing there. So like, I just don't see where in the interface there would be. Like they haven't alluded to anything like that. So I don't think there's going to be any single player content in this game based on what they've showed us today. It looks like it is a competitive focused game, very
Yeah.
similar to other mobile games where it's only PvP and you have missions that you do daily, and you have aesthetic things that you can purchase, and you can catch Pokemon and battle with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm curious who that girl is then, because they also showed the head of the Battle Palace, and the Battle Palace
See,
was.
they showed this guy here. I guess he's just the
Yeah.
training instructor. Like, I think they might just have like characters
Mm-hmm.
on screen to be like, "Hey, click here if you want to raise the
I
stats
guess
of your
so.
Pokemon." Like,
But
Yeah.
by the way, Alex, go back to that screen for a second. I want to
This
talk about
one?
that one too.
Oh, about this.
No, the one that this guy
Replica
teams. We don't know if there are rental codes or not. They haven't ever confirmed that, but I was a little worried there wouldn't be. Replica team seems to be rental codes, right? That's kind of like what that's implying, which is a big win for the game, because that is such a huge part of the new player experience, is being able to load up a team that some content you saw on Cybertron's channel or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I was also asking
I've got
about
a doomer
a
take
tutorial,
about
and it
this.
seems like there is going to be some tutorial stuff, so that's cool too. I mean, like, obviously nobody here in the call needs that, ideally, and a lot of people watching will probably be plenty familiar with VGC, but this is for the people that aren't. We want those people to be able to access the game. Let's see. So yeah, then a lot of
Can I
cool
give a
stuff.
doomer
Alex,
take
it
about
is
the
called
Replica teams
Frontier
thing?
City, by the way.
Frontier
Ooh,
City.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
so
you're
that may
giving me
just
hope
be
again.
a
I had no
location.
hope, and now there's hope again. Maybe there is some type of, I don't know, that menu though. That menu didn't give me a lot of hope, dude. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And
Yeah.
okay, looking at this screen right here, battle data, right?
Oh, this
Now I
one
know
further on
that
the
if you
screen?
go
Okay.
on your Pokemon Home app, not Pokemon Home. What's the mobile app? You can see all your ranked battles in the history of all the ranked battles. I think it's also called battle data.
Oh,
But it'd be really nice if they had replays. I feel like that's also something where that
Please.
if you are trying to be a serious competitive simulator and you don't have a way to save replays, that would be really sad. And battle data is the place that replays would be if they exist. So I see that icon. It gives me hope, but like that is another feature they have to implement. They don't currently have implemented. It just seems like such a no-brainer. You need to be able to save your replays for this to be like a usable application.
Addy, it is Pokemon Home. That's where they
Home.
used to
Okay.
have the like GC rankings too, and like
Okay,
the
yes,
usage
the Pokemon
stats
Home.
from Battle Spot.
Mm-hmm.
In the it's called Battle Data as well. I'm on the app
Okay.
right now.
I just hope that it's not just exactly
It's
that,
both.
and it is.
It's both.
It also has replays.
Maybe the replays are
It
there.
better
that's-
have
that's-
replays. It's gonna be so
It
sad.
better have replay. It's gonna be so sad.
There's a lot of hopium happening right now. Can I give a doomer take?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
normally
Go
pretty
for it.
optimistic about this game. Go back to where it said replica teams.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
the wording of that is very intentional because
Oh yeah.
it's not a rental, it's a replica. So what I think is that you're going to be able to copy some code and it will, like, for example, in Clash Royale, or no, Hearthstone. That's the example I'm going to use. In Hearthstone, you can like copy someone's deck list and like paste it into your game. Like you copy it and you can paste it from your clipboard. But what it does is it tries to make the deck with the cards that you own. It's not like you're actually using a rental deck because they want you to pay for the cards, obviously.
I don't think
What
they'll
I
do
think
that.
the replica
Go ahead.
games
though.
are is I think you copy someone's list and it pulls up automatically with all the VP costs you would need to train that person's team on your game. Because
I
at the
think
end of
that's
the day,
correct.
if they let you
God
just
damn
use
it.
rental teams, Why would you be spending money on the game to train your own Pokemon? You could just use your friend's rental team.
Oh, that's a good
That's a
point.
hopium take for me. I want them to make more money, and then it feeds more money into our system. This is
Yeah.
how we raise the prize pools.
Oh my god,
We
you
can
guys
get
are
him-
actually...
I'm-
Adi, you look so sad. Adi, you look so destroyed. Are you thinking that they're right?
I mean, the wording is very particular, right? It is not. It doesn't just say rental teams like it could. I don't remember what it says in Scarlet and Violet, but it's not replica teams for sure. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like I don't know.
it's
It could be
rental
something
too.
different. I just think like I just think about the new player experience, right? You come in, you're a mobile only player. You start in like like July or something. You've never played competitive Pokemon before, maybe a little bit on Pokemon Showdown. You played some random battles, whatever. Jumping into this new game, and you're like, okay, how do I get a new team? Well, you gotta randomly unlock these Pokemon with VP, or you gotta pay a lot of money, right? And you get some number of you get one unlock a day, right? So it's gonna take you a while to build a full team. You're gonna be eating shit against like full ass meta teams, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Urshifu teams, and it's gonna be miserable. You're not gonna have fun. And the way that you circumvent that problem is you let people say, "Oh, I saw Wolfie use this team at a regional. I can use a replica of that team on ladder, accumulate VP until I can build my own teams." Right? And that like makes the new player experience so much better. It makes sharing teams so much easier. Like it's been a core part of competitive Pokemon for what feels like so long now. It would be a shame if they got rid of rental codes, but I do understand what you're saying. It totally
Audie,
could be
here's a
something
little
else.
hope, possibly. It could be like Pokemon Pocket, where there's like two ways you can unlock a deck, because they have like rental decks. You first get a rental when you get like the main card for a deck, and you can use it like 10 times. But then once you get
Mhm.
every card for that deck, you unlock the rental deck permanently. So I wonder, maybe the replica teams, if they don't want to go like aggressive monetization, it could be like, okay, you can use the team, but you can use it 10 times, or you can use it for a week. Kind of like the temporary recruitment.
Right.
And then
Mhm.
at the end, you can pay the VP and have it permanent. I saw We Are Toasty said something to that effect in the chat as well.
Mhm.
I think that would probably be a more middle ground way where it's not like, I don't think they're going to give us rental teams like we have now. I think there's zero chance of that happening.
Right.
But it wouldn't be the full like, you need to spend $50 right now, or we are not letting you use this.
You give me an idea. I think it'd be really cool if they said, "Hey, this team just won this regional, and so you can use this team for a week on ladder for free. Like these top 5 teams that won regionals or whatever, the top 8 teams of the last regional, right? Or at internets, sample teams for a format. That would have a lot of the same effect, but you're limited to a few sample teams instead of any rental code that anyone can make."
I
So-
hope they do that so you can C-team the shit out of whatever team just won the regional and just farm
Yeah.
a bunch of VP on
I was
that.
thinking the same
Yeah.
thing. It'd be so
Yeah, I
easy.
That's totally allowed. That's
My
totally
VP
allowed.
now.
Okay, speaking of farming...
As if you haven't done that on Pokemon Showdown ladder too. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it there as well. Speaking of farming VP, people are asking if you win a regional, do you get paid out in VP? We actually talked about this kind of last week, minorly, because Nails was talking about how when he made it to Top Cut of Worlds in I think 23, in Japan, they effectively entered him into an online competition to seed the bracket somehow. And when upon completion, he was rewarded like 100,000 BP or whatever in Scarlet and
It's
Violet.
in Pokemon Home still. Like you
Um,
can go in Pokemon Home in the battle data tab and see the world's results. But they
right.
like don't do it for every tournament for some reason.
Japan is just special, Carson. That's the real lesson there. And like I don't know if we'll have that for all of
They
our
did it for
tournaments.
our old global challenges though. Like even the ones that didn't have Japan, I feel like we had it sometimes. At least
Really?
back in
No, I think I'm gonna say that you're maybe not
maybe
correct
it was
on that
only
one.
Japan
I think it's only Japan. If
that had
Japan's
it.
there,
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe just
Um,
Japan is cool and we suck.
Yes, 100%. I don't think they put the grand challenges on there. They say 50,000 VP or 3 booster boxes. No, I don't want them to make you like choose between the prize money or VP, but they definitely could add this. We also suggested this as a good way to like incentivize locals. Like if locals rewarded VP, it would be incredible. Like honestly, if the locals are offering, $30 store credit, or like, I could just turn that all into VP, like I'm going for the VP all day, because like I don't need card shop money. But it would be nice if they did pay out VP 100%. I think they should.
They should give you some just for going to locals. That would like incentivize people to start.
Yeah, even attendance
like
just
if you just
should
got
be.
some for registering.
Right.
Speaking of locals,
Mm-hmm.
for Pokemon Champions, I feel like the game is going to get a lot bigger. VGC really needs to push to escape the local game store. Let us have our locals in McDonald's again. Like the card shops do not want us. We don't spend money there. We don't want them because we have no reason to be there. Why are we being forced together? And now VGC is going to make its own money. Like we don't have to be shackled to TCG because they're the ones that actually pay the bills for TPCI. We're going to get microtransactions and people are going to spend money. So let us go somewhere else, please.
What are your thoughts,
Arson,
Adi?
can I give you my absolutely doomer take?
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. That's how they should approach it.
They're getting rid of locals?
That is not how any of their marketing has been targeted at all.
Sure.
All of their marketing,
but I disagree with the marketing
towards people who already like Pokemon and haven't ever engaged with competitive, which just seems so stupid to me. Because competitive Pokemon is like common now. Everyone's watched Wolf videos. Everyone's aware that like competitive Pokemon exists. If they want to try it out, they usually have. There isn't like this, the barrier to entry is big. It's not so big anymore that people haven't tried it out if they really are interested. So I don't know how much bigger you can get from that. But the number of people who play mobile games and would play a Pokemon mobile game on their phone, that is so much bigger. That is a huge number of people. So many people play Pokemon Go as like the only Pokemon part of the Pokemon franchise they engage with.
So many IRLs
on their
that
phone.
I know play Pocket too. Like so popular.
Because it's on their phone and it's like this really easy game that they can, play while they're taking a shit. And again, that's what Pokemon Champions is going to be for a lot of people. But like, that's who you got to target. Some of those people are going to be more and more competitive. So, yeah, they have not done that at all in any of their marketing. Their slogan, even at the start of this trailer, was Pokemon battles for everyone, right? Which again kind of sounds like we want casuals to play competitive Pokemon and not we want people who spent, tons of money and tons of hours grinding Hearthstone to be playing competitive Pokemon, which is who I think they really should be targeting if they're being smart about it.
We need to get the Clash Royale Timmys in here.
Yes. So I guess we've talked enough about monetization and dancing around it, but without getting right into it. So let's go ahead. This is, I think, a new tab on the official page here.
I
haven't seen this
rewards and premium bonuses. I don't know if you guys are going to see any crazy information on this one that you guys didn't see already in the trailer, or at least heard about people talking about it. And like I think that some of these other tweets will maybe do a bit of a better job outlining them. But let's go ahead and go through it. So this one talks about dressing up your trainer, like honestly, like the cosmetic stuff. I think the cosmetic stuff might be better shown off in the trailer because it talks about, no, maybe it's all here. Throwing styles, victory poses. Throwing styles is actually a throwback to like Sun and Moon. I don't remember. Is it present in the current game? Actually, I can't remember. Maybe
I think it is.
It's in the DLC only though, but yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. But yeah, I mean these are all things that like are definitely fun, and I the presence in the game is I love it. I don't mind having other reasons to shell out for the game. I mean, if somebody just wants to play default, they can play default, but it's fun that this exists. And then let's see, Battle Pass, they talk about that. Accumulating SP season points, that's just probably XP or whatever to level up your Battle Pass. Let's see, what else does they mention here? And then they say you can earn stuff on the free track as well as like cooler stuff on the paid track. Megastones. And then here we go. The starter pack. They don't actually go into too many details though, especially not like prices or whatever. If you're into it, then you can get the starter pack for Nintendo.
There's details somewhere else, I think.
Yeah, maybe on a different site.
It tells you how many like training tickets and recruitment tickets somewhere. It's like 50 training, 30 recruitment, I think.
Yeah, for the starter pack.
Yeah, and it's not very expensive either.
It's like $8
Well-
from yen to USD, I think.
Yeah,
It's
super
not
cheap.
very expensive if you get it in Japan. They can price discriminate by region, and they
Mhm.
probably will.
Us Americans have more money, so we're good.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
They
Um,
make
picture.
like
if it is
40K
that
a year
cheap,
in
though.
Japan. It's sad.
Yeah. So
If it is that
so
cheap-
the
Audie, go ahead.
I think. Oh, yeah, you go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say the starter pack. What's in it? You get 50 Pokemon, extra music tax, 30 teammate
Give me a
tickets,
link
and
if you
50
got it.
trading tickets. I'm reading the Polygon link. I don't know where the official source is.
Sure.
But I
that's fair.
definitely saw this. But yeah, like that is, and I thought that there were also extra boxes. But
There are.
there are that it doesn't list
Yeah.
that here.
It's
I-
the
Um,
50 Pokemon that is the box space. It's not like you're getting
50
50
po- 50
Pokemon. It's space to store them.
That
That
makes
makes
more
sense.
sense.
And the
That
30
makes more
teammate
sense.
tickets are the 30 Pokemon that you can obtain extra.
Yeah.
But okay. And I think that enough for me is probably enough to justify getting it, because I think you start with 30 slots of boxes, and that's not very much. If you play competitive and you have multiple teams going on, like you want to be able to keep more than 30 Pokemon in there. So going up to 80, that's a reasonable amount. Honestly, if they extend it, I might pay for more. Just because I think that's, like actually a kind of valuable service to me. But especially if it is as cheap as, $6 US, I will probably end up buying the starter pack.
Do we know about the membership, or do we not have all the details on that one?
That's the per year price. I forget what the per month is, but the membership gives you. This is all just top of my head. It gives you. I know Zabanda did like a big post on like all the info from Japanese websites, and that's how we knew about the membership before. I
Right.
believe it's even more box spaces, all the battle themes, and extra missions that you don't normally have access to.
So just more ways to earn
You can
VP,
fact
right?
check me on this. More ways to earn VP, yeah, and it's like 45 a year, or like that's the reduced rate. Like it's more if you buy it monthly, but it's about $45 USD a year if it's just the same price as in Japan.
Mhm.
If it were me, I mean, I think pretty much anyone should get the starter pack, especially if it is that cheap, because like just a refresher, the training tickets are like if you go into your Pokemon and you want to change their moves and their ability and their item, or I guess the items are something you already have, but like if you're in that screen where you use the VP to train your Pokemon, if you use a training ticket, it makes that cost 0 regardless of how much it is.
Yeah, it's like
So
about
you
6,000,
can,
right? Maybe I think Toller outlines it here.
yeah,
Where was it? I thought
or
there
he
was
did
a range.
somewhere.
I thought he wrote a range in this one.
I
It was
heard
something.
11,500 to make a Mon. I don't know if that's 100%
I thought it
correct,
was
but
half that. I
it
thought it
was
was
a
more
good
like
win.
6K. I thought.
Yeah, it might have been. But
Maybe
either
I'm wrong.
way, like that's effectively a lot of VP, because you just get to reduce the cost completely to 0. Like obviously, you probably shouldn't use them if you're like changing one move on something or slightly adjusting a spread. But like you get to make 50 Pokemon for like, assuming there's no limit on the guys you can bring in from home. Like if you're just practicing on Showdown and only playing on champions to like
Wait,
do
30,
your
right?
dailies and play in tournaments, and it's
Yeah.
30 recruitment tickets and 50 training tickets. So the
Wait, I thought it
recruitment
was
tickets
50
are,
space, or is it both? What?
it's 50
Oh,
space as well. So
Oh,
yeah,
and
30
50
teammate
training.
tickets and 50
Oh.
training tickets. So
Yeah.
the teammate tickets are you recruit them on for
Oh, that's
free,
bringing the guy on
and the
board and then training.
tickets,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I follow now. Okay.
So you can recruit 30 guys in game for free, and you can train 50. It's like I'm trying to think, like, have I even made 50 competitive guys ready in game within like a year of competing? Like, I don't know. If you're practicing on Showdown for the most part, now knock on wood, obviously if Showdown ends up cutting into their sales, they definitely could take some action, but hopefully they won't. I think
Mhm.
if you have access to Mons from home, that should pretty much cover all the money you need to spend on this game.
yeah. I think I have 90 total like Pokemon that I've used across like all the years of Scarlet and Violet. So, what? That's 3 years at this point
Yeah.
Yeah.
of playing. So, I mean, that's a long time, and I've played a lot more tournaments than a normal person would.
Yeah. And the starter pack would have lasted you a year, basically.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, yeah, I think it's a great deal. Especially, I mean, we looks like the formats are going to change every 2 months. And so if you do one team every 2 months, even if you have a few flex slots on the team, you make some changes here and there, 12 Pokemon every 2 months is not that much. You get 30 Pokemon. Like you get that from it'll last you for months. It really will. Like I really think that's unless you are really switching up teams on a regular basis, unless you are like a content creator, you are probably, or unless you're a serious competitor who like needs to practice on Pokemon Champions, is not practicing on a third party, and is like really grinding it out and making constant changes and like trying out a bunch of different teams. Maybe that'll be a little more expensive. But yeah, if you have a team that you want to use and you want to use it, you make some small adjustments here and there. You probably will be very reasonable to be free to play, especially I think if you already have the games and can transfer some of the Pokemon over.
Definitely.
Yeah. I also, about the 2-month format thing, I guess maybe that's better to touch on later. But I think there's a lot of people like concerned that the game will become like super pay to win and that all the microtransactions are a bad thing. Do we want to get into like whether that's the case or not now?
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me say I'm the last person that will ever like defend a company in most cases. But if this game came out with no microtransactions, and you're like you want that, I think anyone who has voiced that should ask a TCG player what they think of TCG Live. TCG Live is like it's a computer app, and you use the codes in the back of a Pokemon pack of cards to get a digital pack that you open there, and it's their official Pokemon Showdown. It's how they practice for tournaments, and it sucks. Nobody likes it. You ask any TCG player, they hate TCG Live, and the reason why is they don't actually what's it called? They don't really put any development resources into it because it's not making them any money. People aren't buying the Pokemon cards to play on TCG Live. It's just the way for the competitive players to practice, and they don't actually sell cosmetics or anything in the game. And because of that, they put no development resources into it because they don't really have a reason to. And there have been cards that have been bugged to where their like attacks or abilities don't work properly for like months. They just like stay broken with no patches. Like just because they don't actually care about fixing it. Like it's kind of like the Dozo order up bug we had and like some other stuff that was early on in Scarlet Violet that like eventually got fixed after a while, but it wasn't their top priority. It's just not a priority. So like the game needs to make money for them somehow for them to actually justify not only making the game better, but putting more money into our circuit at the end of the day too. And that I think that was something you wanted to get into, Carson, as well. Like
Yeah, so
more
Carson,
prize
what are
money
your
and
thoughts?
stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, I probably have a higher tolerance for monetization than most people, so I'll just get that out of the way right now. I don't really care about spending that much money on a game. It doesn't really bother me, but I see the like amount of resources they're putting towards TCG versus VGC and like the size of the TCG tournaments. And like as a VGC player, I can't help but be a little jealous and want that like level of competition and size of tournament and like resources and prizing for doing well for VGC. And I don't think we ever get there without a standalone game with microtransactions where Pokemon is making a good amount of money. Because in TCG, they're making all this money and they're selling like a little piece of cardboard or paper to these people for hundreds of dollars. And I mean, honestly, if we want that level of support and pricing, like we're gonna have to show out for stupid shit too, like hats for our trainer or throwing the ball upside down when we start a battle. And I'm okay with it.
I'm down
I
with
would
that too.
much rather there be microtransactions, especially on the cosmetics side, than like have the game just be free, because I think it's the only way to have this be sustainable. And the other thing I would love to see is take some like the Unite cosmetics and put them on the Pokemon, because people
I
will throw
want it.
boatloads of money if you can put like a top hat on your Dondozo or something like that. That'd be sick.
I just sent the
Can I give
hardest
you-
picture of all time to chat. By the way.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We have an emote with that, right?
Yes. Actually, maybe
yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. So, and if you subscribe, you can get access to the memo and emote. No, I had an idea for other ways they can monetize it. For example, like, I think the attack animations in the trailer were kind of mediocre. I was kind of hoping it'd be a little more exciting given the trailers. Imagine for a second you can get like an upgraded attack animation if you spend a little money. Wouldn't that be cool? If your Draco Meteor looks more badass than your opponent's because you shelled out a couple bucks, anything, I would pay for it. I would do it. I would do it to flex it to regional.
I'd pay for that too.
Would it still play if it missed? Like, what if it missed, but it looked really cool? I'll do it. Like, that would just make me more mad that it missed.
Your Pokemon like slumps
like,
down.
I paid
Like,
for
it's really
this.
sad.
Come on.
They have a lot of room to make money on aesthetics because people like Pokemon. Pokemon are cute. The aesthetics of Pokemon are what draws a lot of people in. And so, yeah, I really agree. I think that a game that has microtransactions, especially ones that don't stop you from being free to play, are good. I don't think the vibe I'm getting is Champions is going to be entirely free to play for mobile, but the vibe I'm getting is that if you play pretty regularly and you own the games and like you have access to Pokemon Home, so you can get, you either have to have played Pokemon Go or ZA or Scarlet Violet or Sword and Shield. Most of these Pokemon are not hard to get. You just need a copy of them. Like IVs don't exist anymore. So if you have that and you don't have to worry about like spending a ton of money on recruitment, because recruitment is the hard part. Recruitment's the part where you got to re-roll until you find the Pokemon. That's the part where you potentially spend a lot of money. If you don't have to worry about that, honestly, this game is like pretty reasonable free to play. And I did kind of want to loop back to what
Come on,
Toller's
please use the correct term. They have it right here on screen. They mentioned it at the bottom.
Like, funnily enough, I think for me it will not be free to start. I will buy the starter pack because it's pretty good value. If it's that same low cost that we saw in Japan. But I probably will be relatively free to play afterwards because I'm going to be playing this game pretty regularly. I'm going to be getting about as much VP as I can on a daily basis. And I'm going to and I have access to all the Pokemon in Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, and so I can transfer the Pokemon over whenever I want to use them. And so I think that I kind of expect to be able to do it free to play, and I think that if you are an existing Pokemon player, you probably are not going to be expected to shell out a ton of money to play this game if you also play regularly, right? You play 5-10 games of Pokemon in a day, which if you're a competitive player and you go to tournaments, you probably already do that. If you play very casually and you only log in once every so often, or if you are a mobile only player and you don't have access to the mainline games, then I think you might be expected to pay a little more.
Pokemon Go can go to Pokemon Home, which is also a mobile app, and then you can put it in Champions. I know I'm someone who actually does not play the mainline Pokemon games at all. Like, I have not played Scarlet and Violet past the Terra Ring or Orb or whatever it's called.
No, you got those reins. I'm guessing you got those reins.
I did get the reins. That was a process. That was very annoying to get.
Go ahead.
But
continue.
Like, I do play Pokemon Go from time to time. My wife plays it all the time, and I have like a bunch of Pokemon just sitting in the game between those two accounts that I can just like put into Home and get into Champions, and that's all free as well. And that's all just mobile only. So I think there's ways, especially like most of the people that are going to get Pokemon Champions probably played Pokemon Go at some point, especially if they're like not a small child. I mean, everyone played Pokemon Go in 2016. So if you want to use Pokemon that are in Pokemon Go, you probably already have a copy of it.
I have a slight tangent. Yeah, go ahead, Dylan.
You don't even have to play the games. Excuse me. If you know someone that plays the games, I feel like getting Mons is going to be no problem, because I have a friend who plays Go, and he just one day was like, hey, I have like 15 Zamazentas, who wants one? And has done the same thing for all these other legendaries. Sometimes he has extra shiny legendaries, because like he's running out of storage space. But all that to say, if you know someone that can trade you mons, like why would you use the VP to recruit and go through that process when you could just get your friend who owns ZA to catch you a Dondozo or whatever, and then trade it to you in home because home has trading, and then you just put it inside of champions.
I think a
Like,
lot of casual players won't really have the resources or the connections to do that,
right.
and
Right.
will
I think that's where they make their
probably
money,
just use
probably.
VP. But I mean, like me, I'm probably gonna be too lazy to even do the go to home to champions thing. Probably just gonna load up like $200 of VP on day one and then see how long that lasts me.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I have a
Now,
go ahead, Adi.
no, you go first.
My slight tangent was I just wanted to know, like, so let's say I have two Gardevoirs and I want to train them like very differently. Can I have two Gardevoirs in the game, or is like a Gardevoir like a one of like in the game? Like let's say I just have like,
Surely you can have multiple, even if you at least just because you can transfer your Pokemon home. I'd imagine you could encounter multiple.
Okay, got it.
I would assume it wouldn't be a box mechanic if you couldn't have multiple of the same, and it would be like a Pokédex completion, like unlock, like Smash. Like here's your
Yeah,
roster.
right. That's fair. Like a roster. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Probably still can't do multiple guys. Totally. I mean, it'd be pretty bad if you couldn't.
Like why would you buy more box space as well? Because I'm sure, like in Pokemon Go, you can upgrade your storage, and it's like 200 coins each time, and I'm sure you can just keep mashing upgrade your storage if you want to shell out money in Pokemon Champions. And why would you pay to upgrade it if you can't have more than one of the
Yep.
guy?
True. Adi, what was your thing you were gonna say?
I wanted to loop back to Toller's tweet and
Yeah.
do some math. Just a little bit of math. Because he was saying he did some rough math, and we saw 200 VP for a win in Pokeball tier. And he was doing some math about how long it would take to actually get a full team together. But so first thing I want to say is 200 VP per battle in Pokemon tier is maybe not necessarily like what we're going to see if you're in Master Ball, right? I think that you could easily see 500 VP per win for Master Ball. But then also we saw missions, which is another potential way to earn VP, right? So there's other ways to earn VP on top of this. But even generously, if it's 200 VP per battle win, I did the math in an earlier video, and it's like you need something like here it is 2,132 VP to get a single Pokemon ready from recruitment to battle ready total for change everything, right? That is and so 12,792 VP to build a full team, which if you get 200 per win requires you to win 64 matches, which is if you 10 minutes per match played, about 11 hours at 100% win rate, or maybe 15 hours at a 60 something percent win rate. 15 hours to build a full team is not that unreasonable, if you ask me. And that's like with a very, very pessimistic assumptions about how much VP you're going to get per win from missions and from normal battles. Like, I don't think that's that bad. That is, doesn't mean you can build a new team every day, but it means you could reasonably build a new team every week if you played a couple hours a day, or certainly every couple of weeks. And that's assuming you don't use any tickets, which again, if you want to skip that, you can either own one of the existing games or you can pay a little bit of money and make it a lot easier. So it does not, even at the Toller was complaining about this, and I didn't respond on Twitter, but I didn't think that even with the amount that we saw people receive from winning a battle, I didn't think it was that unreasonable. And it's why I'm a little optimistic that this will be reasonable to be free to play.
It takes forever, just as an aside, to build a deck in Clash Royale, and I don't think this is going to be nearly as bad as that. And like, as long as we're above Clash Royale in terms of being pay to win, I think we're in good territory. Because that one is a little crazy. I know I'm like all about the microtransactions and shit, but Clash Royale, like that one, even I had to tap out. I was like, okay, I'm spending a little too much money. This game doesn't really matter to me. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Dylan, you can speak on Hearthstone, right? Because
I spent way too much on it as a kid.
oh, okay. Well, you don't have to
so-
speak too much on it. You speak as much as you like. But no, basically, the only reason I mentioned is that Donald was giving an example from Hearthstone earlier, where he said that like you get like 2 gold per win. I have no relative amount knowledge as to what that means, but he said you get way more gold from doing like the missions, the quests in that game, and so like this game has missions as well, and that might just be the one of the easier ways to get tons of VP as well.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and it's
sorry.
Oh, Dylan, go
I
ahead.
think like
Go
I don't
ahead.
know how it is now. Back then it was a lot harder, but now they have like a battle pass, and I think they made the game like more open to being free to play. Because I know there's also a whole mode in Hearthstone now that's like completely free. The Battlegrounds, I think. I don't know. I haven't played since I was like 15. And I spent way too much on it, but I think yeah, like a lot of these calculations are being done without missions being accounted for. I think like in Pocket, for example, you play through all the solo missions to get a bunch of rewards, and you can get like a lot of packs just by doing the starting solo missions. So much so, in fact, that people will make alts now that you can trade in that game, make the alts, they'll play through all the solo mission stuff, they'll get a bunch
Yep.
of packs, they'll open the packs, and if they don't get anything good, they'll make a new account and do the same
Yeah,
thing
that's
until they open a
Don't
good
leak the
card and they trade
strats,
it to
bro.
their
Don't leak
alts.
the strats. That's where all my 2
So-
stars are from.
all that to say, yeah, that's why they make it super annoying. Like you can't even sign out of your account. Like I'm pretty sure the only way to sign out and sign back in, I haven't done it before, is to delete the app and reinstall it. Is that true, or is there another way? But yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
all that to say, there's definitely a way that like there's gonna be some kind of tutorial element in this game no matter what, because they need to teach people how to play VGC. There's a lot of prerequisite knowledge, and I think that's
Right.
going to be done through like missions and solo battles, and they've shown some of that. We saw the missions tab earlier. I think that's
The
going to give you
missions
like a lot
tab
of
could
VP.
just be like play 1 battle, daily mission,
Yeah,
log in, daily
that's the
mission.
worst part. Is like if it is just that, that's gonna suck. But then if
I
it's
saw
like
one.
I
solo
hope-
battles, like yes, then I think it's fine.
I think they have some room to be creative with it, right? They could be like burn 5 Pokemon and you get that, and you're like, oh shit, I got to put Will-O-Wisp on my Incineroar for this team, you know? And it's like it'd be kind of cool. They could do some more niche ones that like no, like it's a way to force you to like think about your
Get
team
10
and play the game a little
crits.
differently every time. Yeah, I mean
If
like
I
it'd be
op- if I
smaller
open
numbers
up
than
the
that,
day-
right? But like yeah, 1 critical hit as your daily mission would go kind of hard. Like you have to play until you get a crit.
If I open up the game one day and I see click expanding force 20 times, I'm closing the app. Like it's gonna make all the side spam players combine Dondozo and Tatsugiri.
Yeah,
5 times.
No, it would have to be different on a different person to person. Surely that would
yeah.
make the missions.
If
be
it's the
different.
same for everyone, it'd be like old school Fortnite when it's like land like the one place that there's like
Land risky
or
reels,
something.
yes.
Risky
Open
reels,
8
yeah.
chests.
It'd just be like the entire lobby going there to get the challenge done.
Oh, good times, dude. Wave of
Oh.
memories right there. Pickaxe fighting on the billboard.
Oh my god.
Those
Yeah,
were the days.
there's a lot of funny ways that they could go with that. We've talked about the PP subject so much that I don't think we'll dive into it too much, but I saw a lot of people chatting about it. I think at this point I can say with like a decent amount of confidence that we will not have PP up. I mean, so many trailers to show the ability to do it or to show Pokemon that have had their PP increased on their moves, and they have not. So I think at this point we're gonna I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there and see what it feels like to play with, but definitely going to be pretty weird, especially with signature moves that only have 5 BP, or 5 PP.
Surging Strikes nerf.
Yes.
go.
E-speed, that hurts choice band e-speed guys a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
That's also a big buff for Eternatus and other pressure guys. Like,
Yes.
man, you're telling me I only have 3 make it rains? Like that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. And people are talking about going even further with it and using spites to like take it. I don't know if we'll go that level, but you know, that's funny. It's a significant change, 100%. We'll have to see which moves. Like E-speed is a very good like multi-format one, but there's probably some other good signature moves that we'll like. Is Overheat an APP one? Or like like
I think
like
so.
Yeah, Draco as well. Those are probably some like common examples. let's see. So other minor things here, because we definitely got to keep moving if we want to talk about Houston as well in here. And so they mentioned that you can you see the typing, which I saw this during the trailer, and I was like, I know all the types of the Pokemon. I don't need this, but it's cool for the casuals. But then somebody was like, you can identify Urshifu, and I was like, oh wait a minute, that's goated. That's so goated. I hope that's how. Well, and then I also said that. I hope that's not something that's relevant for at least like a year, if not more. Please.
1
please.
year, please, at least 3. We need a break.
We need
or
a break.
ever.
Yes, or ever.
They'll cycle him in and out. We got Reg H, and then we didn't, but we got it again later too.
What's this one? You can get the Mega Stones by BP, probably a bunch of other held items as well, just by buying them. So it's just showing. Honestly, I don't think I'm that worried about this because like somebody's probably gonna be like, it's gonna take forever to unlock every Mega Stone, and I'll be like, bro, you can get Ampharocyte later. It will be okay. Like you don't need it day one. You know, I think it'll be fine. So yeah, like just get the Mega Stones in the order of like your own personal entrance, and then after that importance, just get the meta relevant ones. Like it's not a crazy race to get every single one.
And there's 2 months before the first tournament, so plenty of time to play.
Right.
We talked about this one.
I think people might get upset too if like their favorite Pokemon aren't in Pokemon Champions, because I assume they're gonna prioritize adding like the competitively interesting ones first. I mean, I don't know. Maybe all of them will be in eventually, but it may be a while before like Sawsbuck is the game and is in the game. So if you're like a big Sawsbuck fan, then you may not like that. But I don't know. It brings back some of the Dexit discussions from like forever ago.
I mean, those people are always gonna cry about it, so
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal in my opinion.
100%.
I don't think so either.
I really hope they rotate into Pokemon in and out of the game, and so
They'll do
Sawsbuck can come
that.
in and some of the other Pokemon come out, because if you just keep it at Nat Dex for forever for the next 5, 6, 7 years, it's going to get real boring real quick.
I'm sure they'll keep
Sawsbuck
them
will never
in
see
the
play.
game because
it
then
out.
people would
Take
get
'em out.
pissed if they
No,
spend
take it out.
points to permanently recruit something and it's gone from the game. But I think if you
Yeah.
just cycle it from the ranked format, then
They'll do that.
that's good enough.
Like we would never get
Right.
regional Dex formats again. They understand the value of those. They know that they should stay in. Like the people who are going to be deciding the formats probably are like the people that design our competitive circuit to a certain degree. Also Alex has it on screen, but showing the stat bump is really cool for EVs. Helps people understand.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm stealing more of Donald's takes, but it was so funny. He was like, this is a really good feature because like this isn't even just like a handy thing. Like this is just kind of how the pros do it. Like there you can do more complicated calcs, but for the most part, when I'm making a brand new team and I just want to get started, I'm putting Adamant Nature, I'm putting 156 EVs in attack and hitting the jump point, dumping max HP, hitting whatever speed number is relevant, and then clicking find a battle so I can figure out if there's more important EV goals for my team. And yeah, I mean, it sucks that I might have to, spend some VP to come back and retrain it. But like having the bumps there, that's a really good way to like teach people how to even work with the stat system. It'd be a lot weirder if they were just sliding it up and they saw it goes up by 2 points and they're just like, why is that?
Yeah. And it's only 2 VP for stat point too. So it's like 128 to fully EV something. That's like less than 1 win. So
it is less than a win.
The EVs are not the annoying part. And also accounting for the held items as well. I assume once you buy a held item, you'll just be able to use it as many times as you want. So like, even though some of them may be a little expensive, once you have them, you have them. So
right.
That's going to be like an early expense that you can get out of the way. And also, there's a lot of bad held items, of course. Like, I don't think.
Yeah. We're not buying Persimberry day one. I'll tell you, or whatever.
Dude, you're gonna need the Lepa Berry for when you run out of your 5 PP. What do you mean?
Yo, you're right.
I think you might be right. I think it might actually see some play. Like
no
like,
shot.
Yes.
No, seriously though. Like I don't know. Some games can take a while. Like
am I running Lepa Berry Golden Go? Are you for real?
Terapagos.
No, I'm running Lepa Berry Urshifu Rapid Strike.
Terapagos can rarely kill the whole team with 5 Terra Starstorms. Like, let's be real. Like, you got to be clicking Calm Mind for like 20 turns to be able to actually do that.
It's not Curious Medicine. Is it Curious Medicine? Is that the move from Galarian Slowking that lowers PP? There's no way to like recover PP besides I actually think Lunar, not like Cresselia's signature one, Lunar Dance. I
Yeah,
actually used that on a regional team once,
Hmm.
but Lunar Dance I think is
heals
the like
PP.
better version of Healing Wish, where it like actually heals PP as well as the
It
other
does, yeah.
things. Um,
It's
which
actually
is
a little
fine.
worse sometimes
It's
because if you what's it called? What's the other one? Healing Wish. If you Healing Wish into a
the
full health
delayed healing
Pokemon,
thing.
it stores it, yeah.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
you Lunar Dance into something that's like clicked U-turn once and switched out, then it
Mm,
gets expended on the one U-turn PP, so you don't get to store it. But
Wild, wild.
mm.
Yeah, I don't. The main reason I'm bringing these up is: are there any other ways to restore PP? There are not, right? Like, there's just no way to get it back besides Lepaberry, huh? That is funny. Um, let's see. Okay, so I think then there's probably a billion other minor things to talk about from the Champions trailer, but I'm going to go ahead and move us on to Houston here to finish us off so we can get that taken care of. And then, oh, I actually forgot to open the other links. I'll grab those, but that's for the smart money at the end. For uh, old news, this is old news from the weekend. I guess the Houston Regionals happened, and Dylan, you ended up taking the whole thing with a different team than anything we've seen before. Like it's got ideas from a couple of different teams kind of put together. But yeah, without launching into a full team report, I know I forgot I have the paste, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So without launching into a full team report, tell us a bit about how you ended up picking this one and how it felt.
Right. So first, I'll talk about this more tomorrow. I was gonna make a Twitter post and talk about like everything, but didn't really
Right.
have time today. Still catching up on school stuff. So I was going into Houston, and I wasn't really sure what to use, but I was liking the way Crown felt. I wasn't really having fun with Reg F, but then I tried Iron Crown and I was. So I'm like, this is cool. And I saw from someone else found this. It top 64'd Seattle. It was Navjeet in J11. And I saw the 6 and I was like, this looks really fun. So then I tried it and it was doing really well on ladder. Better than anything else I tried. I like got to some crazy rating and I think I was like top 10, which is higher than I've ever been in any format. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to Houston because I didn't think I was going at that point. Like I just booked it on a whim, probably a week and a half before the tournament. Luckily I got a pretty cheap flight, but the only real change I made was the Urshifu. Navjeet was Jolly Terra Dark, max speed, which is cool and does a lot of cool things, cool calcs. But I had already been really comfortable with Adamant because I use Adamant banned Shifu with Tail Room at Toronto as well. I liked how it got there in a bunch of Ogre Ponds. This weekend it got there on like no Ogre Pond Wellsprings because they're going max X ambition now. But that aside, it does get a lot of really cool calcs, and I think the defensive Terra is super valuable. Because one big problem I found with this team was one, Specs Flutter Main was very rough, and two, the Paul Chua team that won EUIC felt very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And Terrifier was a way to resist both Ivy Cudgel and Fairy moves. And then there's also the Indeedee, which Imprisoned Trick Room, super important for this team. Never really came up like at Seattle. Like I didn't play hard Trick Room at all, unfortunately. Obviously the matchup is free as long as you're faster. Notice I got some speed on it. I'm also impish with max attack IV for if I get taunted, so I can click struggle and do more.
Yeah.
Um, I'll say the one DD I played in the tournament outsped me. I'm 44 speedy Vs.
They
So
were
I
running
wanted to release.
113 speed at least, from what I heard
Yeah,
at Seattle.
What the
I'm
heck,
putting
dude?
this out there because I want to encourage the Indeedee speed wars for Seville. I think this is hilarious, and I want to see how fast the Saipan players will go. Because the thing about this spread is it has the best odds to live the Rain Dance Surging Strikes. If you start dropping HP, you start losing rolls. I don't know how much is worth it,
Mm-hmm.
but this spread was fine. The crown also was Terra. It might have been Terra Dragon originally. I like water a lot on this team because I think it struggles a lot with Chin Pao and Fluttermane specifically. So not being weak to those guys lets you beat them in an end game pretty consistently. Um, and then everything else is pretty much standard. Wellspring
Right.
needs to be faster than Lando on this team too because you're kind of weak to it. But the big highlight, I think, is the Icy Wind Tornadus, and that set was everywhere this past weekend. Like all the offense teams just kind of realized this move is broken. Because it is. Because in the offense mirror, you can delay your tailwind and click icy wind, then tailwind, and you're faster with guys that normally aren't faster. I am curious too. I didn't actually see the stats for how many icy wind. We found the one icy wind season.
It was
the
on
icy wind tornadoes.
It was on over half of the ones that got
I know it was
points.
on the move itself was very abundant and cut, like on be it Flutter or Torn or Cresselia or whatever. I think we're just at the point in the format where Tailwind offense is just everywhere, and it's how you beat the mirror. And I like this team a lot because you can beat the mirror with your own Icy Wind stuff, because a lot of the crown teams weren't running Icy Wind. And you can also beat the opposing crown stuff because you have CM, you have Imprison for their Indeedee. I don't know, the team just felt very solid, very strong. The one thing I didn't like, it has so many moves that could miss, but you need them all. Like, you really need Bleak Wind, you really need Sandseer, and unfortunately, you need Power Whip, because I wanted to be Woodhammer, but I'm like, this can't be worth it. Like, the recoil literally came up more than like 20 or 30% of the time for me in testing. Like, I actually tracked it. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna hit. Because like, you don't want to lose health on your bulky redirector. And like, I didn't want to be Horn Leech because I wanted to outspeed and KO Urshifu's. I think if you're running like a super bulky slow Ogerpon, it's great to be Horn Leech because you can let them CC you and then Horn Leech them while their defenses drop to get all your health back and kill them. But when you're faster, that doesn't really work. I guess it's kind of ironic that I won the event on dodging a move that is more accurate than all of those. But I think it just goes to show you do need to get lucky to win a tournament. And that's kind of just what I told myself. And I hit all my power whips. Granted, I only clicked like 4. I did lose like 2 games off of Bleak Wind misses. I didn't lose any off of Sandseer misses, though. I'd say overall very luck positive event, but I was so much more stressed out than I'm used to. But maybe I'll run more inaccurate moves more often.
I went 6 for 6 on my power whips too this weekend.
Nice.
It's a good move.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot you also have you have like the one that usually runs power whip on Cornerstone.
Yeah.
Yes, that totally makes sense. All right. Yeah, I guess really one more thing about your team, Dylan, and then I'm going to jump over to Carson. Is just from your run, what was probably like the one like most standout match, most memorable?
Got to be versus Geo. He just played so phenomenally, and I think like the line I saw with like the Terra Fire on like 15 HP to live the Icy Wind on 1. Apparently that wasn't just I like at first my friends were like he had to have just gotten like a low roll. I was 25% to live from there, so like I've never been more proud of my head calcs. Like I feel like most of the time I wouldn't have seen that line, but just I happened to, and I was able to convert off of it, thankfully. But man, Gio is just such a nice guy, and such a strong player. That was like one of my favorite sets of VGC I've ever played.
Awesome.
Can I give a standout team too that I played?
Yeah, what's that? Yeah.
My one loss day 1, Chris Large. This team is awesome. It's the one Indeedee that outsped me too.
Oh, yo. That's pretty good. I actually am a little bit out of it with regards to the size spam mirrors. Is Indeedees imprisoning each other when you're not playing against Trick Room still pretty relevant?
I mean, not necessarily. It's better for imprisoning the helping hand and the follow me, to be honest.
Yes. I figured
it's
that.
Mostly, yeah. It's mostly there for like, I mean, sometimes like if you know that your spreads are slower, like oftentimes I would take opposing like the Zach Wheat team. I would take them to TR sometimes because I knew that my darker Shifu was slower than all their pieces.
Yes.
But like into this, I would maybe want to, but you know he had the faster Imprison, so it was difficult. But there's also just a Galar Moltres. The Iron Boulder did not show up. I'm sure he did things in other matchups, but he was just not a Pokemon. But I do get to say that my 1-day-1 loss was to Iron Boulder, and that's hilarious. Chris, very nice guy too. Like we were making jokes throughout the whole set. It was awesome.
That's sick. All right, Carson, let's jump over to your team here. You also had a Tailwind team using Darker Shifu, a bit more of a standard one with the Focus Sash. And yeah, I'm sure that nobody cares about all that stuff. They mostly just want to hear you talk about Ninetales. So yeah, with that, how did you end up landing on this team? And with all the different choices, yeah.
So I did go to Seattle, and I brought a team kind of similar to what Dylan used at Houston. It was a size spam team with the sash, icy wind torn. And I did kind of bad. I went 5-3. I was doing super good in prep, did well in the GC, got first ladder, all that stuff. But in the tournament, the team didn't feel that good. And I had already registered for Houston. It's my closest regional of the year, even though it's like 7-8 hour drive away. So I still wanted to go, and my CP was kind of down bad, so I needed to qualify for Worlds. So I was trying to think of like what else I could do at this tournament that wasn't size spam because I really did not want to run it back. And I like tried one more time in VR last weekend with size spam, and I went 4-3 again. I had like one of the funniest like hack sets of all time versus Fede in the size spam mirror and he ended up winning the tournament. And I just decided I wasn't lucky enough to play size spam. So I dropped the team, and like that Saturday night, I was just like doom scrolling on Twitter, like I need a team, and I came across Ninetales team with Ndidi Sneasler in some guy's Twitter bio. Like he had the Pokepaste actually linked in his Twitter bio. And I clicked it and it had like the full EVs and everything. And I was like, dude, why not? Like I love Ndidi Male Sneasler. I'll load it into Pokemon Showdown. And I played for like the next 3 hours, and I think I went like 20-1, and I ended up like fourth on the ladder by the end of the night. And I was like, huh, okay, like maybe this team like actually has something to it. So I kept playing with it, and I was doing really well in testing, but I was like the team had a complete auto loss to Ursaluna Trick Room, and I thought that was like pretty unacceptable for an event at this stage of Reg F where it was like a pretty popular team, one of the better teams of the format. And so I like made it my mission to fix the team. And unfortunately, I did have to get rid of the Ndidi Sneasler to do that. I put on a Farigiraf to kind of function the same as the Ndidi male, because most of the time you just switch it in for Psychic Train and it would get one shot because it has like 60-60 bulk or something ridiculous. And Ferrig just let me block priority in a little better way. And then I ended up having the last slot be Cornerstone. I tried a bunch of different like random stuff in that last slot, but Cornerstone ended up being the best mon on the team for me this weekend and in testing. It was just such a nice piece for like early game chip and then letting the Torn go down and then functioning as a redirector for the Flutter main. Just a super valuable part of the team. The Ninetales was also like surprisingly good. In testing, when I took off the Ndidi Sneasler, I stopped bringing the Ninetales pretty much completely because like Ninetales Flutter didn't have enough speed on the back half when I sent out like Cornerstone Ursh in a lot of my testing games. Like versus Ndidi Sneasler where you already had like a huge speed advantage. With those back guys, you didn't really, but the run that I had at the tournament, I ended up getting a ton of matchups where Ninetales was really good. And so that was very fun to just like have all these rounds where I get to bring my Shipmon and it's actually good.
I'm
And so
surprised it
I had a
didn't
lot
get
of
cut
fun
then.
using it.
That's funny. But you found it was definitely better than like say a Chi-Yu or something, because I do know that Chi-Yu is a fire type. They also have the same stat, also powers up Flutter Mane, but there's definitely some differences there. So
Yeah, I mean this team has no Surging Strikes resist, and it doesn't have even like a Terra that resists Surging Strikes. So I think you have to have a Sunsetter just because the team doesn't really have a good enough defensive profile without it.
Here it is,
Yes,
dude.
that
Followed
is,
by
he got top 4 in
Carson.
VR,
Oh,
and
yes. Okay.
I clicked on his Twitter and I saw the paste in his bio.
Paste in
Um,
bio is actually so gas, dude. What the heck? That's
I
funny
know,
as
I respect
hell.
it so much, and like this is where I got my team for the regional. Um,
That's crazy. All right, so Carson,
but
what would you say is the most standout match from your run then? Like, what was the? You said you have to use Ninetales a lot, which is sick. That is so fun.
yeah, um, it might not be the standout matchup for like the level of play, but for Ninetales specifically, my round 6, I faced Rain, and honestly, I just like felt bad for my opponent because the matchup was so good. I like had to apologize to him after the round because I won on turn 1, like both games.
No.
Like game 1, I led like Flutter and something else, and he led a Chinpao and Urshifu, and I just switched my guy next to Flutter into Ninetales and Dazzling Gleam before both of his guys. He was like Life Orb Pow, and so they both just
Oh
died.
no,
And the game
no.
ended on turn 1. Um, and it was
Jeez.
just like Ninetales' standout matchup for sure.
Yeah, honestly, that's a fun perk of it being like much easier to use than Torkoal in a matchup like this because it's faster than a lot of the relevant Pokemon, and I mean, you'd have to set up Trick Room to make Torkoal really shine, but if Ninetales gets the sun, it can get off a Heat Wave pretty uncontested. So, or just let Flutter do all the work for it.
Yeah, and it also just like messed with a lot of opponents' heads before the match. Like my round 3 and 4, both of them said they had no idea what to do game 1 because my team sheet was just so weird. And
Yeah, that's real.
I really enjoyed having that advantage during the tournament, just like having a team that was out there enough that people really had to think on their feet because I felt like that was always advantageous for me.
Hmm. Yeah, that honestly, we always love. I don't know. I think that's like we've seen some standard teams do well at tournaments, but I think that the advantage you get from running something different can just be so cool. Um, and then so we've already gone through so much time. I'm gonna try to power through the rest of this. At the end of the day, this is Regulation F, and I think a lot of people are on the way out of it with caring about it. So let's talk about some of the highlights here really fast. Of course, Soib and Justin using teams that I think we've seen before. Soib's was just Aaron Brock's team, right? And Justin using Emilio's team.
Yep.
So both really strong finishes. And yeah, like I think like the three of you, Carson, Soib, Justin, you guys have like been in team building chats like since way back, right?
Yeah, we all started together in 2014. We had a Google Hangouts group that we made after connecting on the Nugget Bridge forums. Still
Lit.
insane to me that they tolerated me. I was 12 at the time, and I was just like messaging random players, like asking for best of threes constantly. And they actually replied, and then like we all made a group chat together. And it's just funny to see how many of us still play and how a lot of us have had like pretty high levels of success. I know Rafa was someone else who started in that group, Arsal Puri, and just a lot of other like people that all
Oh wow, the
got that
chat was,
start with the Nugget Bridge chat.
and it was made before you guys had even been to a tournament yet. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think the first tournament that people from that chat went to was Houston 2014
Houston,
in the
crazy.
fall.
Um, let's see. So some of the other stuff here. Zach Immersion's team is pretty weird. I think Zach was undefeated after actually maybe even for a while, right? Was it 10-0, I thought? Um, I think. I
Yeah,
don't
I think
know.
he started to know.
10-0, crazy, crazy. With like a team that just it does look so strange because yeah, you're like the speed control is just Fari. Obviously, you can use Scarf on Chi-Yu and Photosynthesis on Flutter, but yeah, otherwise like a very crazy looking Sun team that I don't know, it was just beating everybody. So really really cool there. Um, oh, the Primarina, right? I think Carson, you beat the
Hmm.
Primarina in top
Yeah,
8.
barely, honestly. That was a tough matchup in top 8.
And I think Lucy's
I,
from
I lost the
my
game one
area.
instantly
Oh yeah, yeah. I do remember this.
after the speed drop on Bleakwind. I
Yeah,
didn't get to
yeah.
cook my overheat.
But yeah, I think she's in the Seattle area, so I feel like I've played her at locals before. So just
Yeah, I've
wild.
heard she did well at locals from Zach George Camp.
Yep, yep.
He had talked about that.
Um Steven, my goat, using the most disgusting team of all time. But I'm happy to see him do well. I was happy to see him, 8-0. I texted him after his stream win, and I was like, hate to see the dozo, but I'm rooting for you, man. Like, oh no.
Both dozos lost in top 16. Sad day for the fish.
Yeah. Actually, Carson, when you got paired into Lucy, I thought, or no, not Lucy. Sorry, you played Dozo in top 16. You played Yuki, right?
I played Yuki in top 16 on stream. Yeah.
I thought when that matchup happened, I was like, surely of all people, Carson knows how to dismantle Dozo, right? Like you're a Dozo player, at times.
I did misplay pretty bad on stream.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that Wicked Blow wouldn't get redirected. I should have Wicked Blowed the Tatsu.
Yes, that's the way to do it. Because if they go for protect or whatever, then it could mess the order up. You want to hit that tots. But still, your plan looked solid. And oh yeah, Hudson's team. A lot of people were talking about Hudson's team because it's pretty wild. I think Hudson's actually been playing this on ladder for a good while because I've had reports of people being like, oh, so that's who this was. They just like been consistently sticking with this team, and it's a very crazy one.
I played him a bunch on a ladder in the run up to this event. There was like 4 of us actually playing the ladder, and so we all got a lot of practice versus each other. It was like me, Geo, Wolf, and Hudson. I feel like.
What am I going to be expecting when I'm practicing for LA at this point?
There might be even less then.
Let's jump down really quick then. I think Wolf was probably one of the last teams I did want to talk about, unless there's other major highlight ones that you guys think I should be pointing out. But Wolf's team was pretty nuts. I'm just kind of like, I don't even know what to make of it. I did see somebody mention a very funny stat in chat. It might have been Daniel who said that we successfully defended all NA Reg F events from being won by Calm Mind Bolt, and that the best Calm Mind Bolt was actually Wolf's team here, which is like, this is a Calm Mind Raging Bolt team, but it's not a Calm Mind Raging Bolt team. Like, what do you mean? This is a stupid looking Sun team. This is this craziest thing ever. And honestly, this is one of those like team sheet checks where like you need to make sure that you're reading the moves accurately, because I think I glanced at the team and did not know that Gouging Fire had Flare Blitz and Heat Crash. I kind of just glossed over. I saw the Dragon Dance. I saw that it was Dragon Dance, and I was like, okay, yeah, DD, Breaking Swipe, Heat Crash, or DD, Breaking Swipe, Flare Blitz. I did not realize it was literally running both. That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know someone subbed to his Patreon, and he has the EVs out in the team report already. I think half of the spreads on this team are just max, including the Flutter main. That is a max timid Flutter main with no bulk. So I don't really know what to think about this. I don't know if he's just like tapped out of the format. Like, I get it. I don't know if this was like a genuine, like a genuine, really serious.
No, dude, he was top 5 on ladder with me.
Really?
We kept playing. Wow. We played like 3 times
crazy.
in one night.
Yeah, because I'm just like, max timid Flutter. He did something similar for his GC team as well, I believe. I know that Flutter was like almost glass there too, where he got second. But like, this one was glass. There was no bulk on this thing.
Wild.
It's like, we've gone full circle.
I get it. I get it on a Sun team, because the main thing you want to live is the Urshifu Surging Strikes, right? So his Sun, you just live it. No, can you pull up Connor's team with the Slitherwing? One of my awesome
cool
friends.
The Assault Vest Flutter main.
Oh, they
opposite of a glass Flutter.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny. This
the
is
booster
definitely
was open. He could have gone booster special defense.
It's so true.
But he has Sunny Day, dude. He doesn't need that.
That's true.
You're so right. I wonder if it's booster special as well. You're
Right,
doing 75% with your own Flutter Strato Ball.
If anybody has more information, I would, or to answer this question, I'm kind of curious. Was Slitherwing run for the sake of it, or was it actually run because it's best in slot at doing what this team wanted it to do?
So I am kind of friends with Connor, and he wanted to be the first day 2 with Slitherwing.
Yep, that adds up. That 100% adds up. I mean, like, the rest of the team around it, good stuff. And, I mean, I think Slitherwing doesn't seem like a, a ball and chain, whatever. Like it's not gonna like completely hold the team back from winning games, but you know, it's not something you pick very often at the same time. Most teams will.
If
It could
anyone's
have
ever
been
clicked
best
on
in
the-
slot
typing.
as well, but I know at the tournament he was very determined to be the first day 2. with
Okay,
Slytherin.
got you.
If anyone's ever clicked on a team posted in the VGC chat room on Showdown, you'll know the Shipmon is always first, and that Slitherwing was the very first guy on the team sheet.
Actually, I don't know. Genuinely, you guys have probably messed around with this a little bit on Arcana, and I don't know how to change the order of my Mons on there. Like, it kind of just picks a random order for the 6, doesn't it?
Yeah, mine put Feraligatr first, and I brought it like twice the whole weekend. So I don't know why I did that.
I don't know
Just
what
has a
determines
mind of
the
its
order
own.
of the. Yeah, like it's not the order that I typed them into RK9. So I don't know what.
And it's not dex order or alphabetical either. So
I
maybe
actually
it's
think
color.
it's random. I actually think it's random because I think I've like messed up my like, I'd be like, oh, I didn't submit the correct rental code, and then I go back and change it, and then it changes the order. So like, I actually think it might just be pure random, which is like weird. I don't know. I would think it would just be the order you typed them in, but no, there's something more going on behind the scenes. Okay. Then yeah, let's go ahead and move on to picking some quick smart monies. Which, by the way, I should highlight the previous week's smart monies. Yes, Dylan, go ahead.
Sorry, one more shout out. Shout out to James C getting top 4 at juniors.
Okay.
I've not like formally coached him. He's not going to be on the page, but he also shows up to League Night. Shout out Triangle Area Trading Cards. And we're always like trying to give him pointers and like help him get better at VGC. And it's been very cool to see him grow as a player. We got some cool pictures with both of our medals after the event. So hoping to see you win the next one.
Our local Cameron just keeps winning all these things. Cameron has been going nuts. That kid is insane. Or wait, not Cameron. I might be saying the wrong name. I have to double check. I think Cameron. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to Seville. So Seville is this coming weekend. There was so much other news that I'll just like self-admit that MDB had to remind me that these two were going on this weekend. I was like, so guys, the subjects for this weekend are basically like Houston and all the champion stuff. And then MDB was like, there's Seville this weekend. I was like, oh, okay. Yes, sure. Let's preview that. So if anybody in the chat has the answer, do let me know. I'm curious how many people are going to this one. It is a special, which means that it's free entry, no prize money. So usually the numbers can be a little bit different because of that, because it means that, you know, anybody could sign up. Or it says capacity right here, 760 masters. Okay, there we go. So it and then there can be way more no shows because there's no penalty for signing up or anything like that. You don't have to pay anything. No, Mike, I have that one next. We're doing that one. I didn't forget that one. But MDB reminded me about it all the same. Cape Town is here. So, anyways, with Seville, yeah, I don't know the size, but let's go ahead and move over to. Oh, I didn't talk about last week's smart monies. So, yeah, Nails grabbed Carson before I could grab it. I had last pick anyways. And sorry nobody picked you, Dylan, but so we didn't have any perfect sheet, but still a very good one. Still very solid. Adi, you got a top 8, I got a top 8, and Nails got a runner up. That's nuts. So let's
Adi got a top 4.
Oh wait, no, top 4. You're right.
Yeah.
So no pressure, guys, but I'm hoping that you can improve on this. So Dylan, let's have you go first for this one. Carson, I'll let you go first for Cape Town if you got any picks.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan, what do you?
VGC.
I don't think he's going anymore. I was gonna say Andrew Figueres. He's studying abroad in Denmark. And I think he was registered. He picked his team like the day before the event, and he ended up going, I believe 8-4, top 64, which is insane. But I'm just gonna assume he's not responding. And I think I remembered him saying that he canceled his registration, but
okay.
I'm gonna say, you know what? I'll say MDB. Why not?
MDB.
Because I know they were maybe staying together, but I don't know if that changed. So I assume he's still going.
I actually don't know on this one. I can't remember. But probably. Carson, who do you got?
He's
I have Marcus Coe, the Dondozo
Oh
Master.
my god! Of course, of course.
okay.
What else would win the last Reg F regional?
Adi, were you going to add something about MDB or?
No. I got my smart money is Antonio Sanchez, Roxon. He's been in my DMs trying to get size spam prep, so I know he's working hard despite the fact the format is pretty dead.
He has been in my DMs as well, so he is grinding right now.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'll grab Luigi then. I'll grab the Luigi to Roxanne's Mario, and I'll grab Victor Medina. Who I mean, I would have to guess is going. I think somebody else in chat also picked as a smart money. And then all right, somebody in chat who's going to Cape Town, please tell me how many people are signed up for Cape Town. If there's one of the 12 of you is out there watching right now, please do tell me. It has 180 for BGC.
And TCG and Go combined.
Oh wait, what? Oh, that's the whole thing. I didn't realize. Didn't read the whole sentence.
And TCG, it's gonna be like all TCG players. There's gonna be like 12 VGC players.
Okay, Galarian Zapdos fan.
And
I know you're like hiding behind actually, Dylan, you know who this is. Dylan, are they going or not? I guess you don't have to answer.
No, they're not going. They're not going to Cape Town.
Okay. Can't you register right now for free? Is it signups are open? Dude,
I mean, you can
I'm reading
email.
this now. This is actually crazy. Team list must be registered by emailing them to this email one day before the event. There's even you can't even just send it at your own leisure. You have to wait for one day before the event. And that's crazy.
Oh, I've also just heard MDB's not going. Is it too late to change
No,
my smart
of
money, or
course.
do I have to lock in?
No.
Okay,
Change
cool.
it.
Give me Teo Team.
All right, Teo.
I'm also not
Good
positive if they're going, but seems like a solid pick.
Okay. So Carson, we're throwing it to you first. If you have any guess, you could look at the previous. I'll pull that up right now if we want to have some.
Were there like
for
6 players last time?
Was it Patrick Chang that went to both of the South African ones? I think there were 2. There was like a Canadian player.
And Alessio Ferreira was the other one. Yeah, Patrick and Alessio.
Yeah. And they didn't win either time, I know, but
no.
Was this it?
And Chongjun went to one, I believe.
Is this the correct one? I don't know
yeah.
if this is the correct one.
That's one of the 2. There was 2.
Oh, rip Chongjun. He was so sad after this one.
All right, 13 players, but we only get to see 8 of them because. Wait, is that? Yeah, that's 7th and 8th. Okay. All right, Carson, do you have a pick? Do you have anybody you want to guess?
I picked Billa.
Billa, I love it.
There's Akos.
Yes. Dylan, what do you got?
give me the winner of the last one. Pull the page back up.
Oh yeah, let me go grab that for you.
The Pelipper CSR Terapicus player.
I trust them to defend their home turf.
All right. Here's gonna do it again.
All right. In that case, I'm picking the winner of the Johannesburg special event from last year. The other one, Jeevan Reddy.
Stephen Reddy,
who I think Jeevan Jiven, who I think went to Worlds. It might have gone like 04 at Worlds, something like that. I remember seeing the one South African bombed Worlds.
Hey, it's hard to get a win at Worlds, okay, Audie?
It sure is. Worlds is hard.
All right.
Some of the people on this call also went winless.
I'm grabbing Chongjun. I think Chongjun's been like around the world and has been to this event before.
I don't think Chongjun is going, dude.
You don't think? Chongjun was in Australia. Chongjun was at this before. Why isn't Chongjun going? The only other person that I can be
group chat
decently
if he was going.
That's fair. I was gonna say the only person I can be decently sure is going is Patrick Chang. Patrick Chang's usually willing to go.
You think he's gonna be hard trick room again?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, 100%. But I'm gonna stick with Chongjun, dude. I'm gonna ride it out even if he's not going because you picked Bill at the end of the day. Bill is not going.
He's the forever South Africa national champion, dude.
Dude, he didn't even win, didn't he? He got second.
No, he lost.
He got second to another German player. That's what MDB was saying. Oh my god. Give me Rafa. Yeah, Rafa's a good pick for this. Okay. All right, you know what? Let's just do one Calcas, right? Because I don't want to keep us here too much longer. We're already way over time. But Dylan, you did want to do one, and I'm happy to play along with it. I don't know Feraligatr's stats, Mega Feraligatr's stats. Are we allowed to know those beforehand? I haven't committed those to memory just because it's not a Pokemon we've played with yet.
Let's just reveal it because, like you said, it hasn't been revealed yet. I believe the attack's the only one that's gonna matter here. I believe it is. I got on Cerebi. It's 160.
160.
So we got a Mega Feraligatr, and we just click Dragon Dance. We're +1 as we faked out Namungus, but now we gotta kill that guy. He's got to get out of here. So we're clicking Max Attack Adamant, +1, Dragonize boosted Double Edge into a max Boldamungus. How much is it taking? And as for how you're gonna put this into the calc, I was thinking of how we're gonna work this out. The way I'm gonna suggest it is change him to a flying type, give him Aerolate, and Terra the Amoongus to like water or something. Because all the 8 or Eyes abilities
I was about to ask,
are either
they
weak.
all?
They're all not neutral into Amoongus. Like
Yeah, I
there's,
was
like,
gonna say use Pixelate and Terra the Amoongus.
yeah.
You can't use
Just, like,
Pixelate. You can't use Refrigerate, Galvanize.
And-
Yeah, genuinely.
We could also just give it a Dragon Fang and
Make-
change the type of the move to
Or give
Dragon.
Amoongus
That's
a
probably
Cobra Barrier.
easier.
Make it a
something,
normal
but-
type and give it a Silk Scarf. Yeah.
Yeah, do that actually.
All right. Well, okay. There's a bunch of different ways that we can rig up the calc. I'll get it done in a second here. Let's figure out our numbers here. The important question is, of course, what did I
have a
fake
number.
out the Amoongus with? How much chip did I put down on it? You know, was it a fake
So
out
Can
for
I give
like?
a number 2? Because I have no clue how much this is gonna
Yeah,
do.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. And if we're only doing one, then maybe I'll take my one chance to get on the board. But I'll still call on
Yes.
everybody.
Okay. Well, I know what I'm guessing.
I have a number. Do I have to give a
Alright.
range, or can I just say one
No,
number?
you want to pick a
Just
number in
one
the range,
number.
Carson. So like if you were saying 40 for a Abomasnows Blizzard here, that would be in the range. You want to pick like somewhere in the
Okay.
center. So aim for the center. I am ready as well.
All right. I guess I'll call on you first, Alex. What do you think?
Man, I glanced at chat, and I'm not gonna cheat, but I just like saw, and I was just like, I had 108. I was like, I think this thing's like doing so much damage. It's such a high stat, boosted base power, and so I was like, I know it's max defense Amoongus, but this is like really strong. I don't know. 108's probably bad. I'm locking in 108.
All right, Adi.
Alex, I agree with you. This is a lot of multipliers. I was saying 115.
Okay, all right, Carson.
Carson.
Oh, now I feel like mine is so low.
No changing it.
I'll
Come on,
stick
stick to
with it
it.
though. I'm gonna go 80.
80.
Mungus is a fat little boy.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'll guess as well now.
All right. Go.
I don't like the way Mega Feraligatr looks. He kind of looks like a toilet seat. So
does.
I don't have a lot of high hopes for his ability to do damage. I'm gonna say 85.
85.
It's a max Boldamungus.
All right, we got max Boldamungus. I'm gonna go ahead and click
It's a
that Terra button.
+1.
I'm gonna
I
use
don't know.
Feraligatr as a
+1.
template
Base
here, but
160.
you said 160. Let's make it adamant and max +1. Double edge. Wait, oh, double edge is at the bottom. There's so many double moves. Okay, double edge. We are going to make the ability Aerolate. We're gonna give a secondary flying typing. Am I done? Or is there another step?
You tear the Amoongus.
You gotta
I
tear
did
the,
too.
or yeah, you did.
Huh. That's a lot more damage.
That
Wow.
is-
We are...
This thing might not suck.
Wait, Adi, we're
And
in there.
Alex,
So
you were.
No, you're not there.
in
You're
I said
115. I'm the
115.
only one in there. I'm the
Yeah.
goat. What the?
You gotta unlock in day
nailed the
1.
midpoint too.
That's crazy.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Carson?
You like nailed the midpoint too.
I did. I kind of did. It's like right in there. That's crazy. Wow. This is
And whiff.
this is
but
pretty
just gotta get some
funny.
chip.
I was thinking about Feraligatr though, just because like it is kind of fun when megas have like some applications to like delay their mega. I think Feraligatr will not be one of those, sadly. It doesn't seem like it has like really like I know Sheer Force is actually a pretty interesting ability for some of its moves, like Waterfall. But like that's more interesting when you have like Life Orb, and you're not going to be running Life Orb if you're mega. So Yeah. And then I think Meganium, absolutely. And then honestly, the fun thing about Embor is it actually seems like one you shouldn't even run a Mega Stone on, because I think Reckless hits harder. And so but also you shouldn't run an Embor in general. So that said, anyways, thank you guys for doing the show with us today. I'm sorry that we went a little bit long, but of course there was just so much with today's news. Appreciate having you on though.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much. Love to yap about champions.
Yes,
This
it
would
was
have been a
so
much
exciting.
more boring episode if we hadn't got the news today.
Right?
Oh yeah, the Reg F team report.
Couldn't have chose a better time to come on. Always happy to be here.
Yeah, and congrats again, of course, to both of you on your finishes, and I mean being qualified for Worlds as well for you in your case, Dylan. That's awesome. So,
Thank you.
then yeah, this is going to be on YouTube tomorrow. Audie already linked it in the chat, but !YT is on the YouTube channel CK49 over there. If you prefer to watch this on YouTube and you didn't catch the beginning or anything like that, we'll figure out who we're going to throw the raid over to. I realized that we caught a Sableye raid earlier, and I forgot to mention it. We were just so lost in the sauce that I didn't even get back around to it. But thank you, Ryan, for rating us as well. We're throwing it over to Will the Gamer. Let's do it. Yeah, you guys have a good rest of your night, and looking forward to talking more champions in the future. Peace out, peeps. Later.